operations.
Well, we're tracking everything. Our commanders are aware of everything. We have the best intelligence in the world. We're aware of who's talking to who, why they're talking to them, how accurate that information might be, how we factor that into our battle plans, our CENTCOM commander. So we know what's going on.
More of the interview with Secretary Hegseth airs on the CBS Evening News. The conflict is expanding. More on that from CBS's Matt Gutman in Tel Aviv.
We are now in the 7th day of this war, and it continues to broaden. Obviously, a very major assault by the Israeli Air Force on a bunker of the regime in Tehran that was apparently used by the Ayatollah. That was going to be his command post in case of war with Israel. He did not survive long enough to be able to use it.
Tomorrow, President Trump will attend the dignified transfer for the 6 U.S. service members killed in Kuwait last weekend. Jennifer Hudson is in Chicago today.
I was born.
She's one of the many guests who've attended today's Celebration of Life event for the Reverend Jesse Jackson. Former President Bill Clinton was one of the 3 former presidents who spoke.
First time we met was at the 20th anniversary of the celebration of the integration of Little Rock Central High School.
Many in the community also attended today's memorial and say of Jackson,
made me feel proud to be a Black American. I remember him as a leader who showed up for the greatest and the least.
The Reverend Jesse Jackson died last month at age 84. An about-face by the Florida bar on a comment about an investigation into the former top federal prosecutor in Virginia. CBS's Allison Keyes explains.
Lindsay Halligan had no prior experience as a federal prosecutor, but was installed as the acting U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia amid pressure to bring charges against 2 of the president's political opponents. A letter from the Florida bar said yesterday there was an investigation against her pending, but now it says that statement was wrong.
Fired Michigan football coach Sharon Moore pleads no contest to 2 misdemeanors to resolve a felony home invasion case. Pope Leo has a new Ford Explorer. WWJ's Jeff Gilbert with more.
Ford CEO Jim Farley giving the Pope a new Explorer. The Explorer is built on Chicago's South Side, an area where the Pope once lived. It has extras like the Chicago skyline stitched into the center console. Workers at Ford Chicago Assembly Plant knew this vehicle was being made for a VIP. They just didn't know who.
Ford CEO presented the vehicle to the Pope in person last weekend. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Governor Ferguson supports the latest version of the so-called millionaire's tax. More on that story, but first here's Lori at the traffic desk.
Traffic is brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. 202 eastbound at Sahalee Way. Looks like we still have a couple lanes blocked there. 405 northbound right at 85th. A collision partly blocking the ramp. We have an accident. It's southbound 167 right about 516, but you're slow not only before that, but continue slow all the way through Sumner. Northbound I-5 pretty heavy as you approach 516, and southbound from the Duwamish River curve all the way to 516. Federal Way to Tacoma about 13 minutes, and both directions of I-5 still struggling between 512 and State Route 16. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app, listen to your favorite shows, and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Senate Republican leaders are slamming Governor Bob Ferguson's support for a rewritten state income tax proposal. GOP leader John Braun says voters have rejected an income tax 11 times, accusing Democrats of working around the will of the people. Budget leader Chris Gildon calls the plan unconstitutional and unfair, warning it will eventually expand to more taxpayers. Pierce County deputies found themselves in a very unusual pursuit with a convicted felon on Tuesday. It started just before midnight in unincorporated Pierce County and continued into Tacoma. Deputies used stop sticks to flatten his tires. Pierce County Deputy Carly Capetto tells us what happened when deputies ordered the man from his vehicle.
The deputy is doing a felony traffic stop, telling the man to get out of the car, and the man is complying, but he can't get out of the car because he doesn't have any legs.
Capetto says the man was using makeshift paddles to operate the foot pedals. He crawled out of the car, was handcuffed and arrested. You can see that video at mynorthwest.com. Seattle's primary producer of Broadway-scale musicals is eliminating 14 staff positions. The Seattle Times reports a Fifth Avenue Theater company is laying off workers in its marketing, box office, education, and artistic departments. Executive and artistic director Bill Berry tells the Times they are facing $7.5 million budget deficit, which has accumulated since the pandemic. The national average for a gallon of gas has jumped 34 cents this last week. AAA tied the increase directly to the war against Iran. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
We know that half of the price at the pump derives from crude oil. Crude oil prices are up. Therefore, the prices at the pump are going to continue to rise, maybe 30, 40, 50 cents a gallon. So maybe we're not going to get to $5, but $3.50 or $4 a gallon nationally, that would be a lot. So yes, go out and fill up that tank this weekend and stop driving as much if possible.
Washington's average gas price went up 4 cents overnight. And now look at your weather. Scattered showers stick around all day with a high in the low 50s. A few degrees warmer with a mix of showers and sun over the weekend. Right now, 51, rainy and breezy in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Terry Bro Shiplow, and I just finished my first can of Toad's new cream chip beef corned beef hash.
Oh, good.
Combo can.
Yeah.
Part of Toad's new beef series. I can't tell you how full I am with salted meat. I'd eat 2 more cans if I could. I'm sure I'd be sick. There's a lot of beef in my stomach. I'm disappointed that my body will eventually digest and process all this meat, and I'll have to say goodbye to it. Forever. Thank God there's another can waiting for me. Thanks, Toads.
That's nice to know. There we go. A little portion of the show is brought to you by Toads.
Is that a belt?
Meat you don't want to say goodbye to. What?
Was that a belt?
I don't know what happened there. It was his stomach settling in. It's the John Curley Show, everybody. The Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Always there for you. 1-888-973-54, because we have a Boston accent on 4. 7-6. Yeah. Is this show ready?
Yes.
Yesterday's was not ready. Hoo-ha, hoo-ha. Oh, Joe dug us deep into the rabbit hole, and we couldn't get out. And we appreciate Eddie and everything he said. By the way, we'll tell you about that interview. Oh. Get ready on that one. I believe everything that I'm holding in my hand is the news. That's the way they're chanting the Catholic priests do it. Joe has challenged me. I told him one time that the kids hated when I would just read books to them at night. So they used to say, just make one up, Dad. Just make up a story. So I started just making up stories. And they liked it. And now I do the same thing for Nick when she can't sleep. I will play the sound of like thunder and lightning or some background sound and then just tell her a story. Freestyle. So Joe's like, all right, let's see you do that on the air. Put everybody to sleep.
It's a Friday. We need something like that.
Okay. You only have 2 choices. You have the choice between rural, country, or city. And since Nick always chooses city, that has to be the place.
Perfect.
All right,
that's what I would
just sort of rip it out from there. All right, then let's stick around for that one. And then the Zapruder films, everybody knows that one. The history is just so this is the day America got a chance to see the Zapruder films thanks to Geraldo Rivera. Yeah. But there was another film that was taken by another guy who happened to be working for a railroad company. And he said that, no, he saw where the shot came from. Back to that again. And now that film, why is this one in the news? Because
it was seized by the FBI.
Yeah.
In a vault somewhere, never to see the light of day.
There's only 2 copies.
Yeah, the granddaughter of the man who shot the film sued and wanted access. She thinks it could be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. She wants to sell it, but she sued to get access to it. And a judge just recently, about a month ago, ruled that yes, this case can move forward.
Plus, we just heard that the state of Washington, you're no longer allowed to have pocket listings. Pocket listing is where you're a rich guy and you say to the realtor, listen, just sell this thing. Or don't say to a realtor, it's just to somebody else. Hey, listen, I got a listing. Or a realtor gets it, holds it, says, I do have one house that's on the market, but it's owned by a multi-millionaire, doesn't want a lot of people coming through his house. It's a pocket listing. It hasn't hit the market yet. But when you have $75 million, as the National Realtors Association has, and you spread that money around, you want whatever support you're going to get, well, you get it. So, bought and paid for in the state of Washington. Well done. You know, let me just say this. What? Oh, God, I wish I could curse on this show. Clear. I'm going to zap myself because I'm trying to hold back. It's my house. I paid for it. It's my property. What business is it of the state of Washington who I sell it to? It's the business of the real estate agent because they want a piece of it. Because they want to make sure that when I got to put it on the market. Got to make sure the realtor gets their piece of it. Realtor. Sorry, it's a Philadelphia thing. All right. So you got to make sure that the agent gets a piece of it. Well, how do you make sure the agent gets a piece of it? You outlaw pocket listings.
Your income isn't even your property, so why should your house be?
Well, it's not even your house. You pay the mortgage off, and then you basically rent it from the state with taxes. And that is infuriating. But I guess if you're a lobbyist and you have $75 million, you're going to go around and buy every single one of these whores that work in government.
Oh, my.
Am I allowed to say that? No?
Yeah.
You said it.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a gray one for sure.
All right. Okay. We'll put that in the gray category.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Did I run out of music?
Yep. You want more?
No, maybe I can give a little bit more.
Okay.
It's cheaper to bury a baby in the state of Washington than it would be to protect them. I guess that's the only way to explain why the votes went the way they did in. Boy, get the paddles out. I'm going to have a hard day. I really am. And I can clear, please. I don't want anybody else to get shocked in the middle of the home. There we go. Josh Penner's going to join us. I can't understand how you vote against not being able to allow babies that are addicted to drugs not to get the care they've been getting for 30 years there in Kent. But apparently it's... we spend more money in the state of Washington protecting people from pots and pans than we do from babies and drugs. Every time I use the paddle, it takes a couple minutes to recharge, doesn't it?
No, I can do it again right now.
No, I'm fine for now.
Are you sure?
I got to get in a better mood. Give me something fun, Joe.
All right.
Oh, look at this. Here we go. Joe's got us going to the Zero Ranch in New Mexico to find buried bodies. Joe! Is that not me? No, I don't want to get zapped again. I feel better.
We have the top 10 worst songs of the 60s.
All right, there we go. That's better. All right. As challenged by Joe, as I do bedtime stories when I used to do with the kids, Dad, we don't want you to read something, make something up. And the same thing happens. So Nick's like, just tell me a story, but put me to sleep. And I was like, well, no, because every time I tell the stories, you're always like interrupting my stories and asking questions about the characters, and I'm just making up. I don't know who they are. All right, we'll try one. Ready? I was thinking, here we go. Because I always ask for, we have to play background sound.
Pick an atmosphere.
The atmosphere, yeah. So we'd pick city?
Yes, city, please.
Okay. All right, play some music. Inspired, here we go. This isn't where Jeff and Maggie thought they'd be spending their 11th wedding anniversary. They had planned for Hawaii. That's where they had their honeymoon. But things didn't work out that way. When Jeff's aunt said that it was a ground floor apartment in New York City, she should have been more specific. And this is a woman that's very specific with not only her language, but her concerns for things that could hurt somebody. The fact that she takes the time to cut off the small little paper tabs that are connected to tea bags for fear that the metal would cause the microwave oven to suddenly explode. She's a careful woman, and she probably should have described the apartment as below floor or basement apartment. And that's where Jeff was, looking out the window at the rain that was coming in. "Have you stopped it?" Maggie said. "I think so," said Jeff. It was more rain than he was expecting. He was leaking in through the windows, and he knew that his aunt would have a lot to say if she came home and found any sort of damage done. Not like the cat itself wasn't doing enough damage. She had 3 of them. Jeff said the only reason she had 3 cats is because she liked to give them unusual names, characters from Shakespeare that she thought were obscure enough and interesting enough to make her cats and herself seem fascinating, a word she used over and over again. What are you looking at? Rain? What are you thinking about? Where we could have been, where we should be, where we were? Hey, yeah? Never mind. Do you know if your aunt has anything to eat other than cat food? Hey, do you know the people upstairs, the ones that make all that noise? I think they're teaching each other how to do Roomba or something. Yeah. They're dancing. They're what? They're dancing. Up, I don't hear anything upstairs. No, outside. They're dancing outside in the rain. Come here. I knew they'd have tattoos. You get matching tattoos. Maggie put her arm around Jeff. We should dance. I went outside in the rain. Yeah, we should dance. We should dance. She took his hand, held it briefly for a moment, but noticed that he wasn't holding back or squeezing back, so maybe she thought he was distracted or something, so she gave it an extra couple of squeezes, like her mom used to do for her when they would walk and she was in a bad mood or a sad mood, or had lost a friend at school or some other reason. Kind of a double squeeze. She didn't get it back right away. There seemed to be a moment, maybe it was just a half a second, but to her it felt like an hour. And then finally a slow squeeze back to her hand from Jeff. You know, we should, I think she's got some hamburger helper or something like that in one of the cabinets. I can help you find it. Maggie let go of his hand. He returned to the cabinets and she watched him walk away. She turned back to the window and watched the feet, a hairy set of calves, some thick ankles turning slowly in the rain, framed by the window. It was really picking up out there. Yeah. Hey, are you sure you don't want to dance? We could go out. We don't have to dance with them. We could wait. We could wait for them to finish dancing. We could dance. He turned and looked at her, and she seemed so desperate and so in need of something that he searched first his head, and then I guess what was the one part of his heart that still loved her, and couldn't even fake an answer that she wanted. I'll defrost some of this meat. We can have this for early dinner or something. Maggie put her hands on the bars that are in front of the window. There's 2 sets, actually, as if somebody really wants to break into this crappy apartment that she's now stuck in, waiting for something else to happen. There you go. How's that?
I'm sorry, I just woke up. What'd I miss?
There's a guy named Jeff and Maggie.
I was gonna quiz you on all the names. You got Jeff and Maggie right. You never mentioned the cat names.
I didn't get around to cat names. Octavius was gonna be one of them. Cassius, and I guess we'll go with Caesar. Would that have worked?
That would have worked great.
Or Lysander.
Yes, Lysander's a great one.
Lysander, Demetrius. Yeah, those are good names too. That's from, I guess Midsummer Night's Dream. Yeah,
it's an incredible skill.
It is it's from just practice, from telling stories with the kids. And I actually wrote one. I gave it to my sister, and then she illustrated it.
Really?
Stanwood, a story about a little boy on a Ferris wheel who, it just happened to be one night, the Ferris wheel's going around and around and all about the, looking at the lights and the smells from down below. And then he happened to reach up because the star that wanted to come down and smell the caramel corn and all the other stuff that you could smell there on the Ocean City boardwalk. And this little kid, Stanwood, was able to reach up and grab the star without anybody noticing and put it in his pocket. He went home that night, and the star flew out of his pocket. It was bouncing all over the place. And then Stanwood realized that the star had to go back into the sky, so he had to put the star back in his pocket and wait for the proper time. And he kept saying his dad, he wanted to go on the Ferris wheel again. And his father's like, "Oh, we've been on the Ferris wheel." It's like, "No, but I've got to get on the Ferris wheel." So that was the story.
Gotta put this. How are sailors going to navigate when stars are?
There was just one star. He only had one star.
Nice.
Yeah. And my sister got it, and then she sent it. She did all the illustration, and then sent it to the printer, and got the name of Stanwood wrong. Called it Stanley, but that's okay.
It's better than AI. I would request like a murder mystery thriller next time.
Okay, just a
I
sad
don't think
story
you should
about
take
people
requests.
not dancing.
Be careful about taking requests.
I don't want to
John.
take requests.
Well, what do you mean? I get to pick
You're gonna
the
kill him, Momo.
I picked city. Why can't I pick
genre?
A death or exactly.
You're gonna kill somebody off, and then you have to try to figure out who it is.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
See, I'll bet you could.
By the way, this is a news program.
I know.
All right, there we go. Well, I'm all depressed from Jeff and Maggie. She's sorry. Sorry, I can dance in the rain.
Why'd they end up at their aunt's house? What happened to their
I would say the aunt. Okay, then I would say the aunt went up to Rhode Island somewhere to take care of her sister, and then not until the sister passes away, she's going to be stuck there. And then when she comes back, they're in for an interminable amount of time. I see. There we go. Whatever. Nice. All right, here comes Nate Chicken Traffic. Nathan.
Lori.
202 East.
Sorry, Lori. Didn't see you. Sorry.
202 eastbound at Sahalee Way. An accident still might be taking up at least one lane. It looks like northbound 405 at 85th has cleared the roadway. We do have a collision on the ramp there. Looks like it's moving over to the shoulder. 167, an accident right about 516. You're slow before, and once you clear the accident, you're still heavy all the way into Sumner. Traffic is brought to you by Wilcox Farms. Fresh food comes from local farms. Healthier eggs with 3 times omega-3s. Choose Wilcox omega-3 eggs at Costco. Locally fresh since 1909. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Yes, you are, Lori. If you want to get organized, reduce the stress in your house, you think, okay, what would that be? Green tea? No. I'm talking about imagine the part of your home that is really messy, very disorganized. Everybody allows themselves to have a junk drawer. But then it turns into, that's the closet that we just throw everything into. Or that's the little storage area. Or the garage is the catch-all. It doesn't have to be like that. And if you think about it for a moment, it's pretty upsetting because it's just a mess. Don't allow yourself to have that. You know what you want to have is organization and reduce stress, and that's where Closets by Design comes in. I can tell you from my own personal account, I'm not the neatest guy in the world, and when Nick said to me, let's get this barn organized, man, people have ever said that. She said, I'm going to get Closets by Design because they're locally owned. They've been around for 22 years and they're family-run business. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. They came and did an amazing job. And I'm telling you right now, this is truly customized work. So let's get organized with Closets by Design. 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though. I'm freaking out. Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
At Madrona Financial and CPAs, we believe there are 7 steps that must be taken in preparation for a successful retirement. Retirement needs more than just a basic income plan. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth.
Having some certainty about your plan is definitely going to give you all the advantages.
Chris has the heart of an educator.
If you really want to do this correctly, then you get to enjoy every day of retirement like it's a Saturday. And if you don't, it's a Monday for the rest of your life.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth, Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise. There's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. A last-minute amendment to the 9.9% millionaires tax bill now has Governor Bob Ferguson endorsing the plan. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has the latest.
Just days ago, Governor Ferguson told the House Finance Committee he wouldn't sign the millionaires tax bill because it didn't go far enough.
So do I support the concept of millionaires tax? You better believe it. Absolutely. But, and this is a significant but, it just can't be $3.5 billion that goes into our general fund.
The new amendment now promises to send more of the bill's projected $3 billion annual revenue toward the working family's tax credit, and with it, checks up to $1,300 to about 460,000 additional households in need. Republicans warn Democrats could eventually expand their tax plans to hit middle-income earners too. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The bill still needs to pass the House Finance Committee, which is expected to happen soon. A federal court order is forcing FEMA to restore billions in disaster mitigation funding.
Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown and other AGs sued to get the Building Resilient Infrastructure in Communities, or BRIC, program restarted. It pays for things that help communities prepare for natural disasters, things like flood walls. About 24 Washington projects worth more than $150 million have been on hold. FEMA now has 21 days to restore that funding. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle police arrested a drunk man who they say was tagging the Lower West Marginal Way South Bridge early Thursday morning. They say he had a bottle of Fireball liquor and a knife on him and light blue paint residue on his hands. The 20-year-old is known to police for violent offenses. Drivers through the Bothell area will face big backups over this weekend. WashDOT is moving on to the next phase of work at the 405-522 interchange, shutting down 405. Crews will demolish portions of the ramp over the freeway with detours in place. Closures begin Saturday night at 6 and reopen by 4 a.m. Monday. And then Monday morning, WashDOT closes all northbound lanes at the First Avenue South Bridge for a temporary fix on that draw span. Last month, 2 lanes were shut down when cracks were discovered during routine inspections. This is a 3-day closure starting Monday morning at 5 through 8 p.m. Wednesday when all lanes will reopen. And now from the real-time traffic desk, here's Lori.
And traffic is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Linwood to Seattle is a 26-minute drive, and Linwood to Bellevue right now, 23 minutes. That's about a 3-minute slowdown. Southbound I-5 slows from Lake City Way through Seattle to 516, picks up again at, it looks like 18 to the T-Dome and past Joint Base Lewis McChord. Northbound slows from 512 to 16. We're also seeing a 16 slowdown into Gig Harbor. An accident eastbound 518 right at I-5. That one's in the right lane. Federal Way to Bellevue right now, a 36-minute drive, and 16 minutes Federal Way to Tacoma. Get ready for a night of hard-hitting MMA excitement with the WFC 190, April 25th at Emerald Queen Casino. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. A soggy Friday with low 50s this afternoon, 47 overnight with rain tapering off. Right now, rainy, a little breezy, and 50 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Here we go with the John Curley Show. Home covered alliance when it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. What's the thumbs up for? What are you doing in there?
Joe's staring me down
I'm trying to do a radio show in here. All right, I went off on a little mild tangent. Had to shock myself back into a regular heartbeat.
3 times.
Right, only because the news broke that the folks in Olympia have decided no more pocket listings. So we got to get somebody on knows something about this. Kevin Sabara, am I saying your last name correctly, Kevin?
Sarbora.
Got it. You are with Northwest Preferred, these real estate buyers and sellers advisors over there at Design Realty. All right, so what's the law trying to do, and what will be the effect of it? No more pocket listings. Why do they do this?
Sure. Well, they're saying that it's about transparency in the market and getting everything out onto the open public place so that people can see houses and buy them without backdoor dealings happening.
Okay. Oh, that all makes sense. And a pocket listing is where somebody wants to sell their house. Do they call an agent and say, hey, listen, I got the house. Do you just not put it on the market for me? Do you know anybody that wants to buy it? And the agent goes, yeah, I got a buyer. Boom, bang, it's sold, right? That's what a pocket listing is.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of us have really, really big buyer databases where everybody's got people looking for houses. And so if somebody wants to sell a house without putting it on the market, having people walk through it, they can call a busy broker or a broker they know, and we can oftentimes place that home with a buyer.
Okay, and the advantage to the buyer is nobody coming through, nobody just looking at their house. They're able to sell the place. The advantage to the agent is?
Well, the advantage to it doesn't really matter what the advantage to us is. We got a statutory duty to the client, so we want to do what's best for the seller.
Okay, got it. And what do they hope to do with it?
I think what they're trying to, hope to do or telling us what they're hoping to do is be able to bring more homes to the market and stop the small percentage of deals that trade places off the market so that buyers can have more inventory to choose from. I think that's their stated goal.
Okay. When you say stated goal, you hesitated before that, and the inflection in your voice told me there's something else to this.
Yeah, so I think a lot of the thought process around this with people who are kind of on the periphery of it, not very well involved in it, is that this is somehow going to stop a lot of transactions going to investors and people buying homes for rental properties, flip properties, and driving the cost of housing up. And it's really not doing that at all. That type of transaction is generally handled in a different way, where we sell the interest in a contract or sell a company, an LLC that has, that property under contract. What this is really doing is taking somebody who is a private property owner who may not want their neighborhood or people at work knowing that they're selling their house. It's removing their ability to call a real estate broker and ask them to privately sell the house. It's a very small percentage of people. Not a lot of people do this because most brokers will tell them if you want to sell the house, you're going to get more money by going on the market. This is not the ideal way to do it.
But again, the thing I always find as a libertarian, Kevin, that bothers me, it's my house, right?
Yeah, it is. You should be able to sell it how you want.
Right. I don't understand why the government needs to get involved in this private transaction between two individuals. I want to sell my house for $1 million. The guy wants to buy it for $1 million. What does anybody in Olympia have anything to do with that? Other than the fact that they're going to try to get a piece of all this stuff, is it changes hands and they're going to tax or fees for various reasons. But
well, you could say that there is, some drive to collect B&O tax, because if a real estate broker sells that house and the commission is recorded by the real estate brokerage, the state's going to get some B&O tax out of that. But there's a lot going on under the surface with different national brokerages and organizations suing each other, and there's a lot of posturing and consolidation happening as a result of that. So we have a unique situation here where our multiple listing service is member owned. It's one of the largest in the country that is not affiliated with the National Association of Realtors. So a lot of our forms, contracts, and rules kind of mirror some of those rules, but they're not exactly adhered to it. So it's kind of a hot, fun, legal, playground for NAR to come in and lobby and other national firms to come in and try to change the rules so that they can capture more business.
We're talking with Kevin Sabora of Design Realty. So let's see. The lawsuit is Compass sues Zillow and says to Zillow, hey, you gotta put these things up. You can't have pocket listings. You got to make it available. Zillow says you got to make it available to us so that we can put these listings up on our site. Is that what the lawsuit was about?
Well, sort of. So Compass introduced a program where they want to be able to offer private listings that are not subject to days on market, price drops, and other things that they say hurt a seller's ability to sell their home. And so these would be kind of those pocket listings and kind of a formalization process around it, where they'd post them on their website. They'd be able to attract potential buyers and say, we have properties that are not on the market. And it's a good marketing scheme to be able to bring brokers and buyers and sellers in. Zillow basically said, no, we're not going to post your listings on our website. So Compass sued them. And then the judge actually ruled that Zillow doesn't have to post their listings. And so really quickly right after that, Compass went over to Redfin and partnered with them, and now they're going to be offering those types of private listings on the Redfin website. So there's just a lot of, posturing as far as who's going to post listings where, who's going to own the online market space. And, in Washington, we're kind of out in front of it. We've amended our real estate law quite a few times over the last couple of years in anticipation of all these NAR lawsuits coming down. And so they lobby quite a bit.
There's a question, Joe, somebody text in?
Two questions from the text line, and maybe they both have the same answer. But Lynn in Tacoma is asking, could you please ask Kevin about a family sale? And Scott says, what if I want to sell to my next door neighbor in a private sale?
There you go.
So, as you know, now I haven't dug into the RCW. I've just kind of skimmed it and seen along, some of the lines. But it's applying to real estate professionals. Licensed real estate brokers cannot hold these pocket listings. If you want to sell your house to a neighbor, like I said, I haven't read the law, but from my understanding is right now it's a real estate broker prohibition on pocket listings. If you want to sell to your sister or your brother, you're doing it without a licensed real estate broker. My understanding is you can still do that.
So I'm just trying to. Whenever they come up with these laws, they're trying to stop something or start something, and I don't understand the advantage. Private. Here's a quote from Marco Lias or whatever. Is private real estate listings make our housing market less fair, and my bill ensures that all renters and buyers have equal access. Less fair to who? Who's determining fair?
Well, that's a good question. I would argue that what makes the marketplace less fair is requiring a builder who can build up to 6 units in an area to make 2 of them affordable and reduce the price on them, even when it doesn't, cost less to build that unit. You end up with less housing overall, and prices go up.
Yeah, and so this was Senate Bill 6091, sponsored by this gentleman using the word fair from Edmonds. A bill that would ban real estate brokers from marketing residential properties only to a limited exclusive group of buyers and other agents outside of the public marketing. The bill passed 49-0 in the Senate and 92-1 in the final passage. I don't understand why they're involved. I still don't get it.
There are, local entrenched interests as well that have good connections in Olympia, and it's the only brokerage that is publicly advertising a pocket listing or private listing program to a serious extent is Compass, and so as they're trying to break into one of the largest markets and need more share, they're eating the lunch of other local entrenched interests as well.
Okay, well. Apparently, there's that word fair again. Well, Kevin, I hope you have a fair weekend.
Hey, thanks, John.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Thanks for listening to the show. There we go. How about that? Instant news.
If I understand that correctly, Jeffrey Epstein could still sell his
oh my God, back to Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, never mind. Here's Lori checking traffic. Lori?
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Seattle to Everett, just under an hour now at 54 minutes, about 8 minutes slowdown. Bellevue to Everett, a 47-minute drive. That's 6 minutes slower than usual. I'm seeing a westbound slowdown on 520 into Bellevue and an eastbound 90 as you heard. Actually, the 520 slowdown is into Seattle, and the eastbound slowdown on I-90 is into Bellevue. Pretty heavy traffic both directions of I-5 in and through downtown Seattle, and both directions of 405 through Renton. 167 solid from Renton all the way. It looks like you get a little break before 18, but all the way into Puyallup, and South 5 struggling pretty much from Federal Way all the way to the T-Dome with a little break, and then past Joint Base Lewis McChord. Click Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
I'll tell you something. I know what it's like when your hair begins to thin and then that crown, well, that thing disappears. That hair loss can just rob you of your identity. That is how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair. You see, Advanced Hair has got a simple one-day treatment that regrew my own natural hair. They do the exact same thing for you. Because if your hair is ending up in the pillow or the sink or the comb and saying bye-bye and never coming back again, you have a choice. You can say, wait a minute, hold on. I want you back. I want my hair back. I don't want to be bald. So you set up a free consultation. You get $250 off, $250 free hair graft. You simply give them a call at Advanced Hair at 425-449-8185. You don't want to wait because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the 425 Business of the Year. That's 2 years in a row. Let's get the hair back. You deserve it. It's your hair. 425-449-8185. Check out the before and after pictures right there for you at advancedhair.com.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we make protecting your home simple and affordable. With flexible financing and 20-plus years of trusted service, you can count on lasting quality from Guardian. Visit GuardianRoofing.com today.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in no time with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025. Actual speeds vary. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to the premises by coaxial cable.
John Curley here. A Lennox heat pump does the work of a furnace and air conditioner. And right now, get Lennox heating and cooling for the price of AC. For heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical, call the Comfort People. Home Comfort Alliance. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Find your pot of gold at Lake Washington Windows and Doors with savings up to 20% on new windows and doors for your home. Plus, enjoy easy 12-month same as cash financing. Strike gold today. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. Ever wonder how much energy it takes to power your life? Streaming shows, running appliances, even using AI to plan your next trip?
A lot, and it's growing fast.
So we need more energy, and it has to be clean and reliable.
Exactly. That's why Energy Northwest is exploring new ways to keep power flowing sustainably to meet the rising demand.
All this new technology is exciting, but we need the energy to keep up.
And Energy Northwest is making it happen.
Where do I learn more?
Energy-Northwest.com.
Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
Poor Britney Spears arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs. Things have not been good for her. Ever since didn't she go out? Was she married to Kevin something or other? Kevin
Federline, very good.
Federline. Look at me knowing that.
Yeah, wow. Impressive. But they've been divorced for a very long time. They do have 2 children together, I think, and then she was under a conservatorship.
The father took over all the money because he didn't trust her with all that stuff.
Yeah, they thought she was kind of mentally ill and didn't think she could manage her wealth appropriately. And then she got out of that and has kind of been a bit of a hot...
Oh, didn't she do a bunch of stuff? She cut her hair on thing and doing weird dances.
That was before the conservatorship. Now she's on Instagram basically every day doing very odd, kind of half-naked dances, and they do seem a little unhinged.
These Disney kids, that things don't work out well for them. I mean, Annette Funicello aside. I mean, how many times do you and I going round and round on Annette Funicello?
Oh, daily. Justin Timberlake's doing all right.
By the way, Joe sent me the story about what cities would be attacked if nuclear war were to begin because of what's happening in Iran. Let me tell you right now, Russia will not be launching any, and China will not be launching any. If you notice, both of them have been pretty quiet with what's happening over in the Middle East. China's like, oh, we got your back. Nothing. They've done nothing for them. They were supposed to invest about $400 billion into Iran, and they bid about 1% of that. So they're not helping. And Russia doesn't have any soldiers. They're losing more than they can recruit. And generally, there's just no one there to help them. Questions, comments, concerns?
No, I have a retort.
Go ahead.
So Russia just allegedly, according to a report I read earlier today, is giving intel to
That's
Iran.
true.
Yes, so I don't know how good that intel is, but they're providing it. China, on the other hand, I read this in the Wall Street Journal. They are intentionally being quiet. They have said they don't support the U.S.'s attack, but they're also sitting back, and they get most of their oil from Saudi Arabia now anyway, so they're not too concerned about the oil out of Iran.
Right.
Plus, they're also watching very closely and basically just seeing what weapons we have.
That's right.
Since we have unveiled the entire AI arsenal and all of our latest technology, so they're kind of sitting there taking notes, going, okay, this is...
That they did that, and they did this. This is how they block it. When's the last time China went to war?
I don't know.
Like 1979, somewhat involved. Last time, sort of money or had some influence coming into Vietnam. Got weapons in there, but China does not go to war.
No.
They are holding back, so they're not going to come in, not going to help those guys.
But I don't think they want to. I think they're saying, hey, if you want to go, spend a bunch of money, spread a bunch of resources really thin, go right ahead. We'll just
Russia, by the way, deactivated part of its radar near Syria as America began this stuff, so they're not helping them. These guys are entirely on their own. And the other part of it is, Iran was not trying to we're just going to become a normal nation. No, they want to spread Islamic belief throughout the entire world. They're not in this. To them, even peace and stability is not normal. It's a temporary stay before they then spread the idea of Sharia law throughout the entire world. Well, that's what their plan was. Well, now it's blowing up literally right in their face. So that's the end of them. And Russia's not going to fire bombs off into Seattle, and either is China.
We didn't even get to
stupid article.
Oh,
stupid. All right? It goes into the stupid. You want to see this? It goes in the stupid box. All right. What does that sound? All right, let's go, Lori. Checking traffic, please.
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Seattle to Everett, just under an hour right now, 54 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, 47. 520 slows westbound approaching I-5, and southbound I-5 you're going to see slowing from Federal Way off and on all the way past Joint Base Lewis-McChord. Both directions of 167 pretty slow through Puyallup, and southbound starts in Auburn, solid all the way to Puyallup. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. I'm Lori. KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
If your home is 20 years old or more, it might be time to have your roof checked. Your roof is your home's first line of defense, and at Guardian, we help it last as long as possible. That's why every new install comes protected with a full year of free maintenance on us. Visit us at GuardianRoofing.com.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
High five! Up top! Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Heck yeah! He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread. Yes! The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
As Subaru of Puyallup, enjoy a truly stress-free shopping and buying experience. Friendly experts, transparent pricing, and genuine care. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event through March 31st, enjoy extra savings. Visit your stress-free dealership today. SubaruofPuyallup.com.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth on this Sunday's 60 Minutes says that when it comes to the war with Iran,
anything that shouldn't be happening, whether it's in public or back-channeled, is being confronted and confronted strongly.
And CBS's James Laporta says Russia is helping Iran.
It's incredibly serious. The reporting originally came out from the Washington Post. CBS News was able to match that reporting to confirm that Russia is sharing intelligence with the Iranians, particularly as it relates to U.S. assets. That's military hardware. That is static positions that the U.S. military has strategically placed in terms of targeting Iran.
President Trump says he will not seek a deal with Iran without the country's unconditional surrender. Azure Quiroga, who was visiting relatives in Dubai when last weekend strikes began, is among those who have returned home to the U.S.
I'm still kind of shaky, I guess, but I'm just blessed to be back, blessed that the defense was as great as it was there, that leadership was as strong as it was, and just very happy to be back.
United Airlines says it has canceled all flights from the U.S. to Tel Aviv and Dubai through at least March 21st due to the war with Iran. A spokesperson with them for Emirates tells CBS News it currently is operating at 60% capacity and is still flying to 7 U.S. cities. Today's government report shows the economy shed 92,000 jobs last month, while the unemployment rate rose to 4.4% from 4.3%. According to CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
Manufacturing lost 12,000 jobs, transportation and warehousing, 11,000 construction, 11,000 down as well. So the losses were across a number of different industries. There were actually very few where we saw gains, retail and financial activities being two that were at least some bright spots.
President Trump hosts a Saving College Sports roundtable discussion at the White House on creating a standard on name, image, and likeness for college athletes.
If Congress does not take action fast, it could destroy college sports and destroy the colleges that play these sports. They'll be destroyed. They'll be going bankrupt.
The president says legislation called the SCORE Act could help save colleges as they try to recruit athletes. A new study finds that NASA achieved a first by moving an asteroid into a slightly different route around the sun. CBS's Allison Keyes.
NASA used an asteroid for target practice a few years back, trying to find ways to divert an incoming rock that could endanger the Earth. The agency slammed into an asteroid in what turns out to be the first time that a celestial body's orbit around the sun was deliberately changed. Experts say the key to saving the planet is delivering a tiny shove many years in advance, not a huge shove at the very last minute.
This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
The latest on license plate reader regulations in Washington. Details straight ahead. But first, a look at traffic from the real-time traffic desk with Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Southbound I-5 right near Thorn Lane. Look out for a collision. That one's sitting in the center lane. Both directions of I-5, pretty heavy past 5. State Route 18 between 16 and 512. Seattle to Everett up to 55 minutes, and Bellevue to Everett also a 55-minute drive. A little bit of a slowdown 520 heading into Seattle as you approach I-5. 167 pretty much solid from Renton to Puyallup, and then we're seeing a northbound slowdown on 167 through Puyallup as well, all the way to Sumner. Get ready for a night of hard-hitting MMA excitement with WFC 190 April 25th at Emerald Queen Casino. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Washington's House voted 84-10 this week to regulate license plate reader cameras, technology that's helped police recover stolen cars and find missing children. Senate Bill 6002 requires agencies to delete the data within 21 days and prohibits them from sharing the data with federal immigration authorities. House Democrat Osman Salahuddin voted yes.
This bill is about common sense guardrails that protect residents, protect data, and preserve the public safety uses of our technology.
His fellow Democrat Breonna Thomas says the bill doesn't go far enough, and she was among those voting no.
The result is that we risk normalizing operating as people, as Washingtonians, under a surveillance state.
The bill now awaits final Senate action. Police in Kent arrest 12 men for soliciting prostitution in a one-day undercover operation last week. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
The operation started online with undercover officers posing as sex workers and ended with a dozen arrests at a Kent motel. Police say the sting targeted men looking to pay for sex known as Johns and those involved in human trafficking. Kent PD Assistant Chief Jared Kasner.
The demand for this type of activity, which is clearly illegal and harmful to victims. And really what we're trying to do is save those victims and survivors and prosecute the Johns.
The men range in age from 23 to 55, and they live all over Western Washington. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Well, it will not be easy to travel around Bothell and Woodinville this weekend. 405 will be closed in both directions near State Route 522 from 6 p.m. Saturday night through 4 a.m. Monday. WashDOT's Lauren Penning says there are detours, but they will add significant time.
We really are expecting there to be delays of up to an hour, really at peak times, as people are trying to navigate through here.
The state is removing a ramp that crosses the freeway. 405 will also be closed in that same exact area next weekend. And now a weather update. Scattered showers heading into the evening, tapering off overnight with a low around 47. Saturday has lingering showers mixed with some sun and highs around 56. By Sunday night, our lows will be back into the upper 30s. Right now, 51 with light rain in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Cerveza, cerveza, por favor, muchacho.
Thank you, Nate. You missed it. No, something else. That's good. Get out of here. Here we go with the John Curley Show. Makusu Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476. Have those paddles nearby, Andrew, because I'll tell you something. No, but this topic. Yeah. God, some days I wish we could curse on this show. Diving into the good mood. There's got to be something good. There's got to be something good to come from all of this. I'm going to play for you Joshua Penner's work, a representative there from Kent, advocating for a specialized care for infants that are impacted by substance abuse. It's a place called PICC. It's been around for about 30 years. They have a budget about $1.7 million. Half of it would come from the state. And if a child is born into the world and then the mother's addicted to drugs, the kid has it as well, the hospital would hold the kids for a little while and then would send it there to this wonderful organization in Kent. And for 30 years, they have had volunteers and doctors and nurses help these babies get through and overcome their addictions. And then the folks in Olympia that care so much about children, how often do you hear people say stuff like, if we can save even just one child, it's worth it? Well, apparently it wasn't worth it. So they cut the budget. They cut them down to $100,000. And then Bob Ferguson, who also probably cares even if they get saved but one child, decides to cut the $100,000 down to nothing.
This is an important amendment. Let's just say a pediatric interim care center provides care for infants born addicted to the very drugs that we were talking about earlier today. There is such a center just up the road in Kent that provided such services for 3,500 infants over the last 35 years, and there's there's probably been some challenges between them and one of our state agencies. We'll just put it that way. I think this is a situation where perfection is the enemy of the good. And while models of care may differ across this state and across the United States, requiring one agency or one group, well, let me rephrase this. Let's just put it this way. No level of care is the worst situation we can get to. And requiring DCYF and APIC to work together on a plan to move forward, I think is the right thing that we can do at this time. The good lady, the 33rd, brought up a great point that this bill, I think, communicates what I believe would be yours and my expectation to.
Representative Penner, you seem to be choosing your words very carefully there. What is the conflict? I don't understand the conflict.
Well, the bill is certainly not, that was an amendment to the budget.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff going on, right? The budget's an $80 billion document. We had something like 22 amendments, and we got 2 amendments taken, I think, maybe 3, but 2 of them were mine. This was one of them that they would never let a Republican run because it provides a solution to a Democrat district. But it wasn't the preferred version of this amendment. The preferred version would have required DCYF, the Department of Children, Youth, and Families, to actually sign the contract and start returning kids to care at the PIC Center. This is a somewhat softened version. And, for the sake of this and another amendment, I had to defer enough to the quote sponsor of the amendment to be able to get this to move. But at the end of the day, it's about getting DCYF to get off of this high horse of it has to be placing children that are born addicted to drugs has to be done in a very specific way, or it's not going to be done at all. And frankly, that's what's been happening at PIC and Kent. And, children are not getting placed there.
So the mother gives birth to the child. The child is addicted to a whole bunch of drugs, often, and then goes through withdrawal. There's brain damage that can occur. There's also other organ damage that can occur long term. They go out of hospital, holds them for a little while till the kid is stabilized. Then for 35 years, if the baby was lucky enough to go to PIC there in Kent, you would have volunteers and nurses that help the child because it has to learn how to actually begin to eat. You got to feed the child. Their ability for sucking muscles are often underdeveloped, or for some reason they have been not fully part of the biological sort of natural process of eating. And so then now, since DCYF doesn't want to send the kid there, what's the reason that they would not want to send the child there?
Well, I just want to leave out one part that I think is really important is the child is born addicted.
Yeah.
Because the mother is still addicted when the child is born. The mother is still using when the child is born. And so this comes down to just this evolution of thought at DCYF that family unification is the ultimate measure of success. And you've seen this fall apart in the unexpected fatality reports since this whole idea of keeping families together was put in place, going through the roof. This is kind of the other side of that is that this concept that families must stay together at all times, regardless of the danger to the child, is manifesting in this conversation now too, of post-birth care. And the family must stay together as a family unit at all times, even if the mother was taking drugs right up to the moment of birth, the child was born addicted. The prevailing philosophy right now through DCYF and the governor's office now is that families being together is the higher standard of care than the child and the mother finding a cure separately. The child, of course.
Yeah, Representative Penner, I think you might have also spoken to the fact that they're putting aside, because they know The lawmakers there are putting aside about a $43 to $46 million because they know that's part of lawsuit protection. They know they've got to get this money ready to go. Is it cheaper to bury a child than to actually provide service for the child? We spend in the state of Washington $2 million to stop kids from getting lead from pots and pans. But we can't find $100,000 or $200,000 to allow a successful organization that has been around for 35 years to continue to save these kids' lives. I don't understand this philosophy from DCYF. I know they want to reduce the number of kids going into the foster care system, and they've been able to do that by burying them instead, literally burying the children. We can laugh because it's so unbelievably shocking.
It's absurd.
It is absurd. And they'll say, look at the number of kids that are not going into foster care system. Right, because they're going into the hole in the ground. 95 children or 94 children, that includes not only those that have died, but those that have also been sincerely damaged by being exposed to drugs in the home. And the state of Washington gives a lockbox to an individual that is defecating in their pants, but somehow they're supposed to have the wherewithal to put their drugs in the box and lock it up. Don't you feel sometimes that you are in a nut house when you hear stuff like this?
It's angering. It's absurd. And I laugh because of the absurdity, but you're hitting just the core point. I think it's really our next conversation is exhausting all of these opportunities to fix this problem demonstrates that the core fundamental right to life that these children have has been violated. Like, here's the absurd conversation is that what we're being shown is manifest in the idea that in order for a child to have the right to live, that infant has got to figure out how to operate a lockbox because sure as you know, their parent isn't doing it when they're passed out on the bed and paraphernalia is all around. And I say that without even sarcasm because you can read the unexpected fatality reports. They're showing parents that are asleep on the bed, smothering their kids, and they have heroin needles right next to them. And the DCYF case managers themselves say, we would have removed the kid from that situation except for the imminent physical harm standard was not met. The child did not have a fentanyl pipe in the child's mouth. I mean, that's the absurdity here. It's resulting in dead kids.
I think the original sponsor of the bill was not even aware of the language that was in the bill. I think when she was being asked by various people were saying, well, you realize that this is not saving lives. Kids are dying because of the way this law is written.
I mean, I could go back I wasn't in the legislature, and I can understand the concept of keeping families together. Like, no one wants a weaponized CPS.
Yeah.
A CPS that is just, kicking in doors and is unrestrained. But it's moved so far in the other direction. Dead kids should be a giveaway that the feedback isn't working, right? The feedback loop is broken right now because DCYF is putting out these unexpected fatality reports over and over again. And the ombuds is putting out fatality reports that include kids that DCYF can't monitor. And, when we as a caucus ask DCYF, you can only reflect back on the kids that you've had contact with in the last 12 months. What about kids 12 months and 1 day ago? Are they still alive? They say, well, we don't have that data. You're starting to see just this kind of piling on of feedback loops that show you that Keeping Families Together Act, well-intentioned, certainly needs to be addressed. But now I don't know what's going on, why there's no willingness to address and improve.
What do you think's underneath it, Representative? I mean, is it the idea that because I know when it was first brought up in 2001 or 2002, it was like because disproportionately it was a black family. The kid was being taken from that black family and was temporarily in a foster care system, and that those people happen to be white. I don't think the skin color mattered one bit to that baby or to the foster care parent or probably even to the mother that had to give up the child temporarily while she tried to get back on her feet again. But I think during the haze of the whole George Floyd thing, I think there was this idea of which disproportionately we're breaking up these families. It's not, you're not really a family when you're passed out and there's fentanyl and needles there. You're not the mother you want to be but you are enslaved by this addiction and you're not thinking clearly, right? But do you think this same thing is happening now, that you still have this thing? Well, it's disproportionate because of the skin color. Is that sort of illogic still invading these laws?
That's always an undercurrent in these conversations. What is the impact to different populations? I think that there's an argument to be made that that's part of the concern here for some. But I think it's a mistake of correlation and causation.
Yeah.
These kids aren't dying because they're black or brown. These kids are dying because of proximity to fentanyl and synthetic opioids in dangerous situations. Full stop. That's the causation.
That's it.
Is right there. The correlation, maybe we can look at all sorts of socioeconomic standards as correlations, and those are things to investigate. But when the number of dead kids goes up, then everything else is academic. Like, stop. Go the other way.
Yeah.
Can we just go back to the standard in 2020 and maybe work another angle?
Well, if the baby could somehow sneak across the border and come into the state of Washington as an illegal immigrant, because we protect illegal immigrants that rape and drive drunk. We protect those individuals, but we don't protect the baby that's in the house. But we do give a lockbox to the mom and dad. And I've said this before, Representative, I'll say it again. Here's the way the law works. The mom can get high in the morning as long as the dad stays sober, and then the dad can get high in the afternoon and the mom can stay sober, right? You've heard people talk about this there in Olympia, like that is a reasonable plan.
There's one of the unexpected fatality reports. The safety plan was the neighbor would check in on the family every 2 hours.
Oh,
that was the safety plan before the child died, was that a neighbor, who knows if the neighbors got the same situation, but that is the safety plan that failed, is the neighbor would check in on the child every 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's absurd. You asked a question too about, kind of is there a race thing? Is there something else? John, the same people have been in charge of this conversation in Washington for 30 years. If there was an unequitable policy, who the hell made it?
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, I don't understand this, and then the Parents' Bill of Rights and your work on that, and Walsh's work on that. It's just they're screaming and yelling on the House floor, basically saying kids are dying and nobody seems to care. But then when one of the, I guess, senator representatives uses a word that apparently he's not allowed to use, one of the representatives was practically in tears. Tears because he used a word that she found so offensive. And then the Seattle Times writes up this whole article. Well, why don't they do obituaries about these babies that are found starved to death? You know how long it takes to starve to death? But that's not upsetting. We're not crying about that. I mean, it's, again, I almost didn't want to have you on, Penner, because this is so upsetting. So give me some bright good news somewhere in this thing before we go into the weekend, Representative.
Well, I think the bright good news.
Is there anything?
We're about to debate an income tax. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
Oh my God! You're killing me.
Going back, dropping the R-bomb on the floor of the Senate was a boneheaded move.
Yeah.
And that's a distraction, and he should be apologizing for that.
Yeah.
It distracts from the conversation here. The second piece is that, I think the part here is that this conversation, the Keeping Families Together Act, how it manifests into shutting down the PIC and it manifests into these ridiculous standards, the inertia is moving forward. It will be addressed.
Okay, good. That's all I wanted.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be addressed in March.
Right.
This is something that will probably be figured out next year or the year after, but the inertia is moving in the right direction.
Well, here's my amendment. Here's my amendment, Representative Penner, I wanted to throw in there, that anyone that votes against the Parents' Bill of Rights must attend the funeral and must carry the coffin. Yeah. And you get to sit right in the front row. Yeah. You get to sit next to the mother, the grandmother. You sit there. You get a chance to sit there. And you can, when they do the thing where they throw the dirt in the ground, you get a chance to throw the third pile of dirt onto the body of that child. That would be the amendment that I would recommend. No one will vote for it, but every single one of those people that votes against this thing is guilty. Or I'm more mad than you are, Penner. I'm more upset than you are. Now get back in there and save us from that income tax, would you?
My gosh. There's target-rich environment around here. There's bad policy everywhere.
Oh, my God. All right, Representative Penner coming to us. Thanks so much. I'll let you get back to work. It looks like you've got a long evening ahead of you. Thank you.
You bet. Take care.
There he goes. Bye-bye. Oh, my goodness. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that.
I'm not looking at you.
You're judging me. So you're judging me.
I'm not judging
I'm going to Lori in traffic. Lori?
Traffic is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Eastbound 516, right at I-5. We have a collision in the right lane. Both directions of I-5 as you head past State Route 18, and then between State Route 18 and... Actually, between 16 and 512, you're going to see a heavy drive again, both directions of I-5. Seattle to Linwood, 45 minutes. Bellevue to Linwood is a 37-minute drive. If you're heading across Lake Bridges, westbound 520, 21 minutes, and I-90 just to 18. 167, a pretty solid drive all the way out of Renton into Puyallup. Get ready for a night of hard-hitting MMA excitement with the WFC I-90 190, April 25th at Emerald Queen Casino. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. I'm Lori, KIRO, real-time traffic.
There's Lori. You know she's a big MMA fan. She's going to be right down front for that whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Look at her, huh? You can't wait. Arm bar. All right. I, probably 5 years ago, I'm guessing, when I went to the doctor to get a new prescription because I noticed my eyes were bad. And he's like, yep, we got another prescription coming for you. I was looking at the bill. It was like $495 or something like that. The glasses kept getting thicker and thicker and thicker. I had a whole drawer full of them, ones to wear at night and then up close, then medium. I was switching glasses all over the place. Go to the local drugstore and get those cheap $3 ones. The arm breaks off. I'm like, this is ridiculous. If you're over the age of 50, you don't want to wear readers or glasses or contacts anymore, you got to look into K2VisionRLE.com. Now, RLE stands for Refractive Lens Exchange. You get a new exchange, you get new lenses. Dr. Kopstein did the work for me. 5 minutes one eye, 5 on the other. He said, well, it takes about 2 Beatles songs. And sure enough, exactly 5 and 5, 10 minutes later, I go in the next day, I have 20/20 vision. You want to find out more? The good doctors there at K2 Vision RLE perfected and have done more than 150,000 of these lens procedures. You get a set of Zoom consultation at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Whether you've done some preparation already or you're just beginning to plan for your retirement, it's never too late to make sure you have everything covered. Elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayich joins me. You have an opportunity coming soon that will help answer some important questions, don't you?
We do. And every month we take 3 or 4 opportunities to go to the communities and educate people about what proper retirement planning is. The notion of retirement planning around around having a hodgepodge plan, working with a financial planner, a lawyer, a CPA, a doctor. Those pieces by themselves are not going to give you the results you want in retirement.
And you and the LifePoint Law team want to teach us about the Safe Harbor Trust?
They do. The single biggest financial threat in retirement is an uncovered medical illness. A Safe Harbor Trust, it should be a must in most of these estates, but it's not.
Be part of the next seminar in Tacoma on March 10th, Bellevue on the 12th, Federal Way on the 14th, and Everett March 17th. Learn more and secure your space at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So, how many chickens do you think there are on the farm?
3,000?
What do you think chickens eat?
Grass.
What else?
Seed.
So, do you know what organic eggs are?
The ones that you put in brownies?
Yes, the ones you put in brownies.
We hope you choose fresh eggs from our family farm.
Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
Find your pot of gold at Lake Washington Windows and Doors with savings up to 20% on new windows and doors for your home. Plus, enjoy easy 12-month same as cash financing. Strike gold today. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. A Linwood teenage student is recovering in Harborview after police say he was shot twice at Linwood's Meadowdale Park. Police say it happened about 1:30 as school was letting out. An argument led to gunfire and dozens of kids running for cover. The victim was hit twice in the leg and in the torso. Linwood Police Commander Joe Dickinson.
The person that actually got hit fled on foot and was located a couple blocks away. He's been transported. I think he went to Harborview, and he's in stable condition.
No word on the shooter. Police are searching the neighborhood for surveillance video. Well, here's a sign of the times. A bill on the governor's desk would ban employers from forcing workers to get microchip implants. The update from KIRO News Radio's Manda Factor.
The bill passed the state Senate unanimously this week. It bars employers from requesting, requiring, or pressuring employees to get chips implanted under their skin. Workers who are forced to could sue and recover damages. Democratic Senator Rebecca Saldana of Seattle spoke before final passage.
This is simply protecting employees' right to protections of their bodies, and I think it's a good bill.
It passed the House last month. Here's Republican State Representative Joel McIntyre of Kathlemet.
Who knows what's going to become commonplace in our workplaces in 10, 15, or 20 years?
Governor Ferguson hasn't said yet whether he'll sign it. Manda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
Governor Bob Ferguson says he will sign a newly revised millionaire's tax bill. A new amendment guarantees more money back to Washington families and small businesses, expanding the working families tax credit, and adding free school meals for all students. The plan also exempts over-the-counter medicines from sales tax and boosts child care funding. Emerald City Comic Con is underway at the Convention Center. Event director Chris Delando says a lot of celebrities and fans will be there.
Bryce Dallas Howard. We have Jamie Campbell Bower coming off the final season of Stranger Things. We've got Kyle MacLachlan from Twin Peaks, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're really excited. We've got about 90,000 fans that are going to be descending on the Seattle Convention Center this weekend to celebrate all their love of all things pop culture.
Comic-Con runs through Sunday. And now let's check out that real-time traffic. Here's Lori.
Pretty big slowdown, 3-mile backup. It's westbound 518. The accident is right at I-5. Slow go through that scene. Seattle to Linwood right now, 11-minute slowdown. Bellevue to Linwood is a 37-minute drive. We're looking at a little bit of a slowdown on the Lake Bridges, 520 taking you 21 minutes, I-90, 18. And 167 southbound, I'm not seeing any let-ups from actually Renton all the way into Puyallup. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Your weather update has scattered showers tapering off as we head into the evening. Overnight low right around 47, 55 and some sun breaks with lingering showers throughout the weekend. It's raining lightly, 51 degrees in downtown. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Anything, Joe?
Start your day with solutions, not problems. KIRO 7 pinpoint weather and real-time traffic every 10 minutes, from downpours to backups. Whatever is waiting for you when you head out the door, KIRO 7 News in the Morning will get you prepared.
Yeah.
Stay up to the minute every 10 minutes. Watch KIRO 7 News in the Morning, 4:30 to 7 a.m.
Okay. Haven't you there? You're all excited. Is everybody just too excited?
I didn't have my copy up.
All right. Bucky's all the service centers. 16 locations, been around for 50 years. The God of Bucky's. That the God of Bucky's. That's enough. What we decided? Thank you. What we decided to do on this one? Nice choice on the music.
Zapruder film.
Oh yes. Everybody knows Zapruder Films first became public because Geraldo Rivera put it on this show called America Goodnight or Goodnight America or So Long America or what the hell time is it? I'm Geraldo Rivera with a lot of hair.
Is that when he had the mustache and the long hair?
Yeah. Well, he still has the mustache. So he made it public for the first time, and everybody's like, oh, look at this Zapruder Films, because people had heard about this during Kennedy, right? You could see the Kennedy. There's the president in the car. His hands come up. He clutches his throat, and then his head goes forward and back if you watch the movies and everything. But people didn't realize there was another guy who was also happening to be filming at the exact same time during the assassination. His name was Orville Nix. Boy, you don't hear those kinds of names anymore. And he was interviewed right after he got the video, right after he took the film. And here's what he had to say.
Where is the original film?
The original film belonged to United Press International. The government has a duplicate copy.
And where is that duplicate copy?
In the archives.
And is that the duplicate copy which was used by the Warren Commission for the purpose of determining, along with other films, the Muchmore film and the Zapruder film, where the presidential limousine was when some of the shots were fired?
I would say so.
Yeah, so they have it, and they've had it for all these years. Now, the daughter of Mr. Nix has come forward, I guess, or granddaughter or something, and said, hey, we want that thing back. You've had it for the longest time. This is what Mr. Nix says he was able to capture on film.
At the time the shots were fired, did you look at the book depository building?
No.
Did you think at that time that the shots came from the book depository building?
No, I thought it came from a fence between the book depository and the railroad track.
Does anyone else who you know or who you've spoken with also believe that the shots came from there?
Most everyone thought it came from the fence behind the book depository.
Did you have occasion to speak with Forrest Sorrells, who was, of course, a friend of yours, and the Secret Service agent in charge of Dallas that day?
Yes, I did.
Did he tell you where he thought the shots came from?
He thought they were coming from the same place.
Which is?
Behind the fence.
At the present time, where do you believe the shots came from?
Well, they came from the book depository because there's proof that it did come from there.
I see. This you've read in newspapers and you've read the report?
Yes.
Okay. Did you look at the book depository when the shot? No, I looked over the fence. Why? Because that's where the shots came from. In fact, he even said there was a cloud of smoke from the rifle fire right there, kind of hanging in the air. 2 of the motorcycle cops that were there covering the limousine immediately rode their motorcycles over towards the fence. The one guy tried to climb the little wall on the bike and ended up it tipped over on him. But as soon as the shots were fired, they drove over there. Why? Because that's where the shots came from, according to this guy and other bystanders that were there. But why would he say, so where do you think it came from? Well, we're on a book depository because that's where they said it came from.
That's where they told me
That's where they told me.
Did you
Who's this guy? Witness Sam Holland?
Sam Holland. That was the second clip you said.
look in any particular direction
Oh, yeah, here we go.
when you heard the shots? Yes. I looked over to where I thought the shot came from. And I saw a puff of smoke
This guy, Sam
still
Holland.
lingering underneath the trees in front of the wooden fence.
Yeah.
The report sounded like it came from behind the wooden fence.
Yeah.
And a policeman throwed his motorcycle down
There it
in
is,
the
yeah.
middle of the street and run up the embankment with his pistol drawn. He was running toward that particular spot.
Huh.
And also another motorcycle policeman right behind him
Mm-hmm.
tried to ride up.
Joe, find out where the fence is in relationship to where the limo was. So that would be.
It's above the grassy knoll. It's so.
Oh, all right.
If you're in the limo,
So
it's
that's where
off
the
to your
headshot
right.
comes from.
Yes.
So he's hitting towards the front of the president.
The embankment on his motorcycle, and it turned over about halfway up the embankment.
Yeah. All right.
And he got out, got off his motorcycle, and left it laying there and run on over to the fence with his gun in his hand.
Where do you think the shots came from?
Well, I know where that third shot came from.
What?
Where did that shot come from?
Behind the picket fence.
Is there any?
Close to the little plaza.
Okay. So Oswald gets off the first 2. The first one possibly goes through the neck of the president. Does he miss with the second? I can't remember. And then third one.
Is there any doubt in your mind that that shot came from behind the
There's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt whatsoever in my mind in the statement that I made in the sheriff's office immediately after the shooting.
So the reason all this is in the news today is because the film that was taken by Orville Nix that has been held by the government for all these years, the granddaughter has gone to the courts and said, this is ours. We own this. You have held it. We want it back. We don't need it anymore, or whatever you're going to do with it. So the feds have now said, okay, we'll give it back to you. But they think it's worth.
Well, so a judge has ruled that the
They
case
must-
can go forward. So she.
Oh,
can,
okay. So right now it can go to court.
Yeah, now they can go to court over.
And then the federal government's going to have to say why they, for what reason, you're not going to let it go.
It's going to be a big black box over any relevant.
I mean, maybe
footage.
Epstein is seen somewhere near the grassy knoll. I don't know. Gee whiz, Joe. Good lordy. Alrighty.
Think we'll ever see it?
They're going to have to give some reason as to why, and you get to cover that with a whole
I think
bunch
they'll
of.
say, "Oh,
it's national
it
security.
was damaged. We
It's
lost
we can't
it."
find
Yeah.
it. It's on Bondi's desk.
That's right.
She's going to release it all. All right. Here comes Lori checking traffic. Here we go, Lori.
An accident on 518 westbound. It's just a little before I-5, but it's got you backed up 3 miles approaching the scene. Seattle to Linwood right now is a 45-minute drive, and Bellevue to Linwood is 11 minutes longer than usual. 520 across the lake, you've got a 3-minute delay, and I-90 westbound is an 18-minute drive. We're looking at a solid commute 167 from Renton, basically all the way through Sumner, and we are still seeing that northbound slowdown through Puyallup, and both directions of I-5 solid past State Route 18, 16 as you head into Gig Harbor. I'm Lori, KIRO, real-time traffic.
Thank you, Lori. If you want to be able to get the house perfectly organized, here's what we had happen probably about 8 or 9 months ago. Nick said, we need new closets and we need something in the garage. And I said, okay. After about 3 weeks of nagging, I said, okay, but let's not just hire the first one that pops up. If you want closets, I said, find a local company and let's say they've been around for a while and see if they're family run. I thought, there's no way she'll find anybody. And then I don't have to have closets and have to deal with the whole thing. And Nick's like, hey, got somebody. Closets by Design. Family owned, been around for 22 years. And they are customizing. They're not going to come with a box of parts and try to jerry-rig it all in there. Truly customized. It's like, okay. The nice lady came and sat with us to the barn from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock and completely redesigned all of our storage. And amazing in the garage, in the master bedroom, the closet on the second floor. The best without the great big prices. 40% off plus at 15% off and 18 months financing. This is Closets by Design. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
High five! Up top! Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Heck yeah! He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread. Yes! The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Get it? With the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though. I'm freaking out. Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
With the John Curley Show, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 1-888-973-5476. Oh, welcome. Plus, people still leaving voicemail messages?
Yes.
801-575-5532. 801-575-5532. You can start the show out.
That's right.
Some kooky thing. Apparently, it doesn't seem to really be
kooky
vetted in any way.
No. Just roll with them.
We did this, I guess, when did this come? Why did this back out there again?
So the Rolling Stone magazine polled their readers about a month ago for the worst songs of the 1970s.
Yes.
This week they did the worst songs of the 1960s.
In no particular order, although we'll save number one. Here is the strangest song if you listen to the words, which is not that hard to do because they're right there from Richard Harris.
This park is melting in the dark. All the sweet green icing flowing down. Someone left the cake out in the rain. I don't think that I can take it, 'cause it took so long to bake it.
I think someone left the cake out in the rain.
I hate it when that happens.
I do too. Honey, where's the cake? Oh my God, I left it on the rain.
Sounds like something that would happen in one of your freestyle
Took so long to bake it.
And I'll never have that recipe.
That's the problem. It's out in the rain. He can't make it again because they didn't have the recipe. And they're like, okay, Richard, you're going to go up a little higher on the second again.
Because it took so long to bake it. And I'll never have that recipe again. I recall the yellow cup.
Gets even weirder if you can believe it. And coming in at number 3, Cherith by association.
Cherish is a word I use to describe all the feeling that I have hiding here for you inside. You don't know how many times I wish that I could told you.
Yep.
You don't know how many times I wish that I could hold you. You don't know how many times I wish that I could mold you into someone who could cherish me as much as I.
But I left the cake out in the rain. Bobby Goldsboro.
It would sure embarrass her when
it's a
I
great
came
song.
in from working late, 'cause I would know.
Yeah, this is he's gone. He leaves and comes back.
She'd been sitting there and crying over some sad and silly late show. And honey, I miss you.
A lot of guys were leaving back then and not coming back.
And I'm being good.
I get Glenn Campbell's By the Time I Get to Phoenix. You know that one? That's
yes,
another
of
one.
course.
She's like, and by the time I get to Phoenix, she'll be rising. And she'll look at the and soft point. And it's like, he's not coming home. He's going to Phoenix. He's gone. Same thing with Bobby.
And I'd love.
I think he's died. In this one, I think he's dead. But poor honey's dealing with the fact that, she's a widow now.
To be with you.
Yeah, he's in heaven. Yeah.
If only I could.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. He's not. He can't. He's dead. He's in heaven.
She wrecked the car and she was sad and so afraid that I'd be mad. But what the heck? Though I pretended hard to be, guess you could say she saw through me. and hugged my neck.
Okay, rhymes with heck. Okay.
Want a little Glenn Campbell?
Yeah, Glenn Campbell. This is.
'Cause I've left that girl so many times before.
Yeah, come on, Glenn.
By the time I make Albuquerque, she'll be working.
It's not coming back. I got news for you. Yeah.
She'll probably stop at lunch
to give me a call.
and give me a call.
Yep. He's not going to answer. Nope. She'll let the phone.
She'll just hear that phone.
Oh, keep on ringing. Off the wall. It's going to ring off the wall.
Off the wall.
That's all. That's all.
Nice.
That's all.
Rhymes with wall. Last part.
By the time I make Oklahoma.
Yeah, he's driving all over the place.
She'll be sleeping.
I
came home unexpectedly.
Okay. All right, here's the worst song real quick. And I can't find it. I can't play it. It's Yum 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 by Ohio Express. We don't have time.
Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy, and I feel like I'm loving you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's gross. Here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori?
Seattle to Everett right now, 57 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, 54 minutes. So we're looking at close to an hour commute. Everett to Marysville, we're looking at a 22-minute drive, and that's about 13 minutes longer than usual. I'm seeing some slowdowns across the lake bridges right now. 5-minute delay westbound 520 into Seattle, and a 4-minute slowdown on I-90 as you head from Bellevue to Seattle. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO Newsradio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED?
And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What did the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Find your pot of gold at Lake Washington Windows and Doors with savings up to 20% on new windows and doors for your home. Plus, enjoy easy 12-month same as cash financing. Strike gold today. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The U.S.-Israel war with Iran is expanding. CBS's Matt Gutman reports from Tel Aviv.
We've had drones hit Kurdish areas in Iran and also in Iraq. There's been a drone hitting Azerbaijan. Obviously, a U.S. submarine downed a Iranian Navy warship off the coast of Sri Lanka in the Indian Ocean. So this continues to grow.
CBS News has learned that Russia has provided Iran with information that could help Tehran strike U.S. military positions. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says on this Sunday's 60 Minutes.
Well, we're tracking everything. Our commanders are aware of everything. We have the best intelligence in the world. We're aware of who's talking to who, why they're talking to them, how accurate that information might be, how we factor that into our battle plans, our CENTCOM commander. So we know what's going on.
President Trump will attend a solemn process tomorrow honoring fallen American service members. CBS's Linda Kenyon has more.
The dignified transfer of remains will take place at Dover Air Force Base and will honor 6 U.S. service members killed in Operation Epic Fury. A statement from the White House says President Trump will stand alongside their families in grief and honor their legacies. The service members were killed when an Iranian drone hit a command center in Kuwait in response to the U.S.-led military action against Iran.
People run for cover from a suspected tornado in southwest Michigan. This woman is in the Three Rivers area, which is still under a severe thunderstorm watch.
We could just see off in the distance the circulating of the clouds and the devastation that was going on around us. It was just a horrendous sound when it went through, but it was like a minute.
The St. Joseph County Sheriff's Office says citizens should anticipate power outages, closed roads, and cell and internet interruptions. A pilot had to make an emergency landing on Indiantown Road in Jupiter, Florida today. Sean Sykes hit record on his phone as the plane passed by his car in another lane.
What the?
No injuries on the aircraft or on the ground. An emotional send-off for the late civil rights leader, Reverend Jesse Jackson, in Chicago from supporters, former presidents, and others. CBS's Allison Keyes reports.
A long time coming.
Former President Obama at the People's Celebration for the late Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. on why Jackson's legacy is so important.
Each day we're told by those in high office to fear each other.
Obama says it's hard to hope in those moments, but
Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson inspires us to take a harder path.
And to step forward and say, send me.
The Reverend Jesse Jackson died last month after a battle with a rare neurological disorder. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
A police chase ends with a flipped car and a surprising outcome. More on that coming up, but first, let's get a commute update at the real-time traffic desk with Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Now, this accident westbound 18 at I-5 looks like it's clearing the roadway, but we're still looking at a 2-mile backup. Seattle to Everett, you're looking at 57-minute drive and 54 minutes. Bellevue to Everett. Everett to Marysville, 13-minute delay, 5:20 if you're heading westbound across the bridge. It's a 24-minute drive and 23 minutes on I-90. Visit Subaru of Puyallup for friendly experts, transparent pricing, genuine care, and savings during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. It's through March 31st. SubaruofPuyallup.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Nate Connors. A near miss as a car speeding away from police flipped over a median on I-5 in Centralia Tuesday.
All of a sudden, I just saw a car flying through the air toward us.
That woman tells KIRO 7 TV she had a split second to get out of the way. And
I know it was a big shock to them when ultimately a young lady crawled out of the car and handed her a toddler off. How was he okay? Was he in a car seat? No, not in a car seat. So then you go, okay, his guardian angel was looking out for him.
All 3 adults in that car that crashed were arrested. Police in Kent arrested 12 men for soliciting prostitution in a one-day undercover operation last week. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
The operation started online with undercover officers posing as sex workers and ended with a dozen arrests at a Kent motel. Police say the sting targeted men looking to pay for sex known as Johns and those involved in human trafficking. Kent PD Assistant Chief Jared Kasner.
The demand for this type of activity, which is clearly illegal and harmful to victims, and really what we're trying to do is save those victims and survivors and prosecute the Johns.
The men range in age from 23 to 55, and they live all over Western Washington. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Well, drivers through the Bothell area will face big backups over this weekend. WashDOT is moving on to the next phase of work at the 405-522 interchange, shutting down 405. Crews will demolish portions of the ramp over the freeway with detours in place. Closures begin Saturday night at 6 and reopen by 4 a.m. Monday. And then Monday morning, WashDOT closes all northbound lanes at the First Avenue South Bridge for a temporary fix on that drawbridge. Last month, 2 lanes were shut down when cracks were discovered during a routine inspection. This is a 3-day closure starting Monday morning at 5 through 8 p.m. Wednesday when all lanes will reopen. And now check on your weather. Scattered showers will take us into the evening. We'll dip to 47 overnight. The weekend isn't so bad. Mix of sun and showers with highs into the mid-50s. Right now it's raining just lightly in 52 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line.
Okay.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Please do.
Thank you.
Please do.
You cut a little square in a piece of bread, and then you toast it in your pan. You drop the egg in the hole, and then it's a nice runny yolk, and you dip that extra little extra piece of bread in your egg yolk.
Remember that? It took a year off of Aaron's life to explain that one to us.
Egg in the hole.
Egg in the hole, and finally
One-eyed Egyptian.
That's why he's taking his name off of the wheel. He just left. He's not even here today. Yeah. It's like anything to avoid having to talk about an egg recipe. Here we go, the John Curley Show. 1-888-973-5476. As much as the talking about eggs does to Aaron's health, I would say 4 of the main topics today have taken a year off of my life.
Easily.
The Keeping Families Together Act, that's a year and a half off of my life.
Ugh.
We didn't do daylight savings time.
Should have.
And now you're doing this to me. You're slowly trying to kill me. You are. This is like a Twilight Zone episode.
Death by 1,000
No,
stories.
it's like you know the term gas. Let me dive in for Did the term gaslighting, you know where that came from?
Yes.
What?
Oh, it was something to do with the little gas lamp and making it seem like it was a different time of day than it actually was.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
No.
I learned it from you, but
Right.
apparently
You didn't listen.
no. Go on.
Guy was trying to drive his wife crazy. His wife, she'd make her think she's nuts. So what he did was, and he wanted to make her think she was going blind. So he slowly turned down the gas lights. And she's like, does it seem dimmer in here? He's like, no, I know what you're talking about. No, but it seems like it's gotten, like yesterday, because I'm having trouble reading. I can't thread this needle. No, I don't know what you're talking about, sweetheart. Huh, something must be going on with my vision. That's where gaslighting came from. That's it. I don't know what story it's from, what movie or novel or whatever, but that's where it originally came from.
I'm never going to forget it.
No, darling.
And now you know the rest of the story.
But of course, back then, no, darling, there's absolutely nothing wrong with your sight. It's just as bright as in here as it was the other day. That's funny. I must be going crazy.
Or blind.
Okay, blind. Right, exactly. Why you wanted her to think that. So we're being gaslit by the governor. Don't forget this is it. The millionaire's tax. I'm not so sure I'm going to have this or not. We're going to make should we really have the millionaire's tax? Well, yeah, we're going to have it. It's coming, everybody. So, yes, the Washington millionaire's tax headed for passage. Ferguson says he's going to sign it. Seattle Times and My Northwest. He basically was like, well, I'm not so sure. But now what he's saying is, well, we're going to have all these carve-outs. So what you want to do is you want to make everybody think like, oh, good, don't tax me, tax the guy behind the tree. So carve-outs for small businesses and carve-outs for this and carve-outs for that. And then who's going to be left? Oh, yeah, the millionaires. That's the two people that live in the house that happen to have a combined income, or people with S-Corp, or everybody that simply has any money. The government's going to try to swoop in there. And here's the weirdest part of it. When they want to reduce smoking, what do? They increase the tax. When they want to have you drink less sugary beverages, what do? They tax it, right? If they want to have less of it, you tax it. If you want to subsidize something, if you want more of something, you subsidize it. But for some reason, they don't seem to get sugary drinks, tax, less people will drink it. Cigarettes and Zyn and all this, tax it, there'll be less of it. Do you not believe that also if you tax income, there'll be less of it? Well, what they're hoping for, you can't get away from it. You're going to make the income and they're going to get it. Well, you control whether or not you make it, and you also control where you make it. So the state of Washington feels that you do not deserve the income, so they're going to make sure they come after you. Because the only way the government can give Mr. Jones $1 is to take it from Mr. Smith by force, by law. The only way they can redistribute is by taking it out of somebody's pocket and giving it to somebody else. And who do they give it to? Well, they make sure that they pay back the unions. So SEIU, Healthcare, $11.99, that donated $957,633.94 to the Democrats to make sure they would get their fair share. The Washington Fed state employees, congratulations, your investment has paid off as well into the giant slot machine known as the Washington's Millionaires Tax. And then, of course, Washington Ed Association, you too made a giant investment. And the fine men and women laying back on their backs, thinking of the taxes, were able to provide for you an orgasmic amount of money that's be coming your way. So those are just three of the unions that took the money and paid into the slot machine, and ka-ching, ka-ching, Ferguson is now going to give you what you want, which is someone else's money. Somebody earned it, but apparently they don't deserve it, or they didn't pay their fair share, so therefore you will get it. SEIU Healthcare $11.99. Ka-ching! Washington Fed state employees, you're going to get somebody else's money. And the Washington Eds Association, you're also going to get somebody else's hard-earned money because, let's face it, they don't need it, or they didn't earn it, or they just make too much of it. So congratulations. All that money pouring into those folks in Olympia, and they're going to be able to make sure that money comes your way. Right? There you go. Winners of somebody else's money. And the only way you're able to make it seem like you deserve it is to assume that the person who earned it doesn't really deserve it. Or they got too much of it. Oh, that's excess income. I love that guy from Microsoft. What was his name? Jabe something or other went down there. Where is Mr. Jabe? Yeah, where is this guy? Yeah, this guy, Jabe Blumenthal, who went down there to testify. Jay Blumenthal, who went down and said, oh, yeah, I should pay it. And we think we should pay it. So he joins Microsoft in 1989 to December of 1994. So he gets in early. And if you're an early guy in there at Microsoft, man, they took good care of you. 50,000 shares. If you got in early on this stuff, you could have maybe $1 billion. So when he had that money, when he was making that Microsoft money, they didn't have the tax on him then. But now that last time I checked, I don't know if he has a job. It says, according to the tax purposes, he's retired. So therefore, he's not actually going to be taking income as an employee anywhere. So he doesn't have to worry about this as an income tax. Maybe it's a capital gains tax, but he's all for taking somebody else's money because he's already got it. He made it. He was the right place, right time. Smart guy, comes out of Yale, but he went down there and said, yeah, tax these rich people. Yeah. Do we have any sound from any of these people with any of this? No? You don't?
On the millionaire's tax?
Nothing.
No, they're talking about it right now.
Oh, what were they saying?
I don't know. I'm not watching.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, it really is remarkable I've said this before, that if you had to go to somebody's house and stand there and say, hand me them, get a big long line. The folks from SEIU Healthcare $11.99, just have like 50 of them show up at somebody's house. Somebody that gets up every morning, goes to work. But before they did that, they took some money and they risked the money. They're entrepreneurs, and they took money. They borrowed it from the bank, or they borrowed it somewhere. They borrowed from some hard money loan, and they put their hard work into the thing, and they hit, and it worked. But they're working, 18 hours a day. They end up getting divorced. They're not seeing their kids or whatever, and they working on this thing. Then they employ 10 people, and then 15 people, and then they employ maybe 300 people. And they're working hard. And on the weekends, they're worried about it. On Saturday nights, they're staying up. How's it going? What are the new laws? What's happening to me? Is this business? We have new competition. They risked something, and in return, they earned it. But apparently, because it's over some number that sounds good in Ferguson's mind, or the people within Washington state employees, that $1 million sounds like a lot of money to them. Therefore, it's okay to take it from them. The injustice of this thing. And by saying, oh, we're going to get this money, it's going to be $4.3 billion, you're a fool if you believe anybody that is smart enough to earn that kind of money. And I'm not talking to people that inherited it, that are sitting on their ass and they're just blowing the money, the third generation. You're losing it on your own. I'm talking about somebody that really risks something. If you think that person who's smart enough to risk their own capital, to take advantage of the market, to find a new way to provide some sort of product or service and employ other people, if you think they're dumb enough to sit around and let you ram a hot poker up their butt coming out of Olympia, they're gone. They're gone. So your $4.3 billion that you think is going to be there, Ferguson, is gone. They're leaving. They're leaving the state of Washington because they're not fools. They're not waiting around. But again, you tax cigarettes so people will smoke less of it. You tax money, you're going to get less of it. And then what's going to happen? Well, you've made all these promises to all these people that paid you to lay on your back and screw the rest of the taxpayers. SEIU's healthcare, they're going to want money from somewhere because it's going to be very few millionaires to get it from. So it's got to come from somewhere because they paid paid you, and now you got to pay them. So where are you going to get the money, Ferguson? Where are you going to get the money, Democrats? You're going to drop it down. It's not going to be the millionaire. Now it's going to be $500,000. It's going to have to be 9% or 10% on them. And guess what? If they can leave, they'll leave, or they won't make as much. And then you're going to have to pay off the Washington federal state employees. And where's the money going to come for them? Because don't forget, they paid you to get in there and get that office so that you could return the favors to them, so you could go in there and steal it from somebody else. Well, they're not going to be there either. So it's going to keep coming down and coming down and coming down till finally you're taxing somebody who makes $100,000. And wow, how does that happen? That guy's not a millionaire, because they're the people that are hanging around, and that's where the majority of people are. Because the Washington Education Association, that continues to spend $20,000 per student and have each one of those kids not be able to read, have 50% or 60% of them not be able to do math or reading at grade level. Let's just keep giving them money. That's the important investment. So here you go, Ferguson. Congratulations. Go, Mike. I got to hope. Clear. I don't know what to say. It's not there. They're not going to have it. The same thing with the capital gains tax. Oh, look at all the money that came in. What happened the next year? We didn't make as much. I wonder why. Right? Laffer's curve. If you tax something at 100%, what do you get? If you tax income at 100%, how much money will you get?
0.
Right. Why? Because you're not going to go to work and not get paid. If you tax income at 0%, at 100%, you get 0 of it. If you tax it at 0%, you'll get 0 of it. 100%, you get 0. 0, you get 0, right? So there's a certain point called Laffer's curve. And Arthur Laffer came up with this theory, and he says at a certain point, it's 32, 33, somewhere in there, people begin to adjust their behavior. And it's just like, where is that number? You dial it in, because when it goes just a little bit above, people make changes. They work less. They don't invest. They're not willing to take the risk. So they just pull back. And you look at any country that's taken great chunks of people's income, yeah, there's less inequity, but there's also less growth. Because, I'm sorry, we're not equal. None of us. Some people are smarter. Some people are faster. Some people are stronger. Some people are willing to take risks. Other people are not. Some people are lazy. Other people will work tirelessly. Maybe not in a smart way, but they work tirelessly. Other people are extremely bright. There's no equity. And by you taking money from one group and giving it to another group in order to create this illusion of equity, all you are is a thief. And I cannot believe that this is going to happen in the state of Washington. But they buy and sell. They buy and sell the Washington State Supreme Court. They're on there. They're going to push this thing through, just like what Peterson said back in 2018 in that email. We got to get the capital gains in first. We'll get that through. That's like the Trojan horse, not his words. We'll get capital gains in, and then we'll be able to get an income tax in. And every single time you've asked the people of Washington, do you want an income tax? They have said no. What is it, 9 times? But on this particular case,
this will be 10 times. This would have been the 11th.
The 11th time, but this thing went forward. But no, you're going to Ferguson. No, this is fine. And we're going to give tax breaks to small business, and then we're going to make sure that the families leave out. They're going to get money, and then this group's going to get money, and this group's going to get money.
Learn some economics.
Man, oh man, I can't wait. Hold on a second. I don't even feel it anymore. Clear! There we go.
I think the clear was a little late.
I don't want to play the stuff about the guns.
Yeah,
we're done.
We ran out of time, luckily.
I don't know why. Oh, quiet, teeny. You don't even make any money. Does she even get paid?
No. She doesn't know what money is.
You know what? I'm such a fighting mood. Is anybody texting in saying I don't deserve my money? And I'm not even a millionaire yet. I'd love to be a millionaire.
Me too.
I like to work a little harder, make a little bit more money.
But now you have incentive not to be.
Well, no. Actually, if Nick actually gets off her
easy.
her new looks great in these jeans.
Oh yeah.
It starts making some serious dough. Then we get it. But like right now, So I'm not even in the category. I'm not in the category. I'm not the person that they're coming after. I'd like to be. It's the rest of these individuals. It's just the injustice if you believe that the money belongs to you. Man, it's so obvious.
I don't know why you would want to scare your tax base away. I mean, that just doesn't seem smart.
Because all of these different groups paid all this money. How much money do you need to become governor? I don't know, 30 million, 40 million. Great, we're going to get the money. Go. If I were a big lobbyist and I gave somebody a bunch of money, I'm going to want something in return. Right? I mean, just, it's like the mob. Here's the money. We got you in there. Now vote this way and this way and this way. Thanks a lot.
The Seattle-Cleveland comparison, that's what really terrifies me. I mean, it just seems like, because this is just individuals, but the business environment.
I've heard from so many friends I know that have money and they're like, gone. The only reason they're staying is because they love the state.
Yeah.
And their whole business is here and their family's here. And they're like, no, I don't care. I'm gone. Well, there you go. I can't. I mean, this again, the nonprofits get hurt. The rich leave. They don't fund the nonprofit. And then individuals that really need the help or don't get the help. All right. Here's Lori checking traffic.
Traffic is brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Northbound State Route 7, right at westbound 38th. Look out for an accident. Looks like the ramp is completely blocked, maybe getting through on the shoulder. Everett to Seattle, 42 minutes. Everett to Bellevue is a 31-minute drive. Let's see, we've got Everett to Arlington. It's going to take you 9 minutes longer than usual. Still pretty heavy, both lake bridges. 520, a 3-minute delay. I-90, 4 minutes slower than usual. And if you're heading from Edmonds to Kingston or Mukilteo to Clinton, both those ferry runs are a 1-hour wait. Last year was one of the hottest on record. Get efficient heating and cooling with the Home Comfort Alliance heat pump for the price of AC. Don't wait. Visit homecomfortalliance.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Don't wait, insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
You've worked hard, saved diligently, and now retirement is on the horizon. But will your nest egg go the distance? With rising cost and uncertain markets, there's no time for oversimplified plans. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
1-8
car today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found Tax Relief Advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Nate Connors. A Linwood teenage student is recovering at Harborview after police say he was shot twice at a Linwood Meadowdale park. Police say it happened around 1:30 as school was letting out. An argument led to gunfire and dozens of kids running for cover. The victim was hit twice in the leg and in the torso. Linwood Police Commander Joe Dickinson.
The person that actually got hit fled on foot and was located a couple blocks away. He's been transported. I think he went to Harborview, and he's in stable condition.
No word on the shooter. Police are searching for the neighborhood surveillance video. Pierce County deputies pursue a convicted felon in a high-speed chase on Tuesday, but when they finally catch him, they find he has no legs. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has the story.
An off-duty deputy pulled the man over Tuesday around midnight because he had no taillights, but the man fled at a high rate of speed. Stop sticks were used to stop his vehicle, and when he was ordered from his truck, he told deputies he could not because he had no legs. Here's Pierce County Deputy Carly Capetto.
The man eventually crawls out of the truck and lays on the ground to allow the deputies to handcuff him.
The man was using makeshift paddles to operate his foot pedals. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The Justice Department has released additional Jeffrey Epstein files involving uncorroborated accusations made by a woman against President Trump. Here's CBS's Steve Kathan.
The department said those files, documenting a series of interviews conducted in 2019 with a woman who made an allegation against Trump, had been mistakenly withheld during an earlier review. The accuser was interviewed by the FBI 4 times, but a summary of only one of those interviews had previously been included in released files. Yesterday, the Justice Department said those withheld files had been incorrectly coded as duplicates and were not published along with other documents. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
And at 5:32, let's swing it over to the real-time traffic desk, and here's Lori.
And traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Northbound 7 at westbound 38th. We have the ramp block there for a collision. We still have a slow drive Everett to Seattle, 42 minutes, and Everett to Bellevue is a 31-minute drive. Everett to Arlington still holding pretty heavy, seeing some slowdowns as you head across the lake bridges. 520, about a 3-minute delay. I-90, a 4-minute slowdown. We have some ferry waits, Edmond to Kingston, and then Mukilteo to Clinton. You're looking at an hour wait. And Nate, you've been talking about the closure over the weekend, and it looks like they're doing some prep for that, closing 405 off-ramp. It's the northbound 405 off-ramp to eastbound 522. They're getting it down to just one lane, so that might be a little slow go as they get ready for the construction over the weekend. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Scattered showers stick around into the evening, tapering off overnight with a low around 47. Over the weekend, a lingering shower here and there with a mix of sunshine and highs into the mid-50s. 51 and light rain in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, Teeny, if you wouldn't mind spinning the giant wheel, that is the wheel of the Wilcox Family Farm answer. These are all the names of all the players. Aaron is out. Nate is not on the wheel either. A couple of big blank spots. Hopefully it doesn't land on one of those. And luckily it lands on Joe. Ooh. Joe, it looks like you have the honors.
A 2-pack Wilcox Family Farms hard-boiled eggs, ready to go. Buy them at your local convenience store.
There it is. That's going to be in the book under boring. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Joe, for that. 2019, a guy by the name of Eddie Aragon receives an email, an anonymous email from somebody who used to work at a ranch, the Zorro Ranch, which was owned, and at the time was still owned by Jeffrey Epstein. And then at that point, Eddie decides he's going to start to investigate this. He owns a radio station, but he's sort of at this point become sort of like a citizen journalist, which begins a long investigation that Eddie almost single-handedly was involved in. Mm-hmm. Turning over emails, talking to people that worked at this ranch, this 30,000 square foot ranch there in New Mexico, which has really not been scrutinized by the FBI. No one has gone in there and looked at it. The email that Eddie got said there are 2 bodies buried on the property somewhere, young girls from another country. And thus began his investigation into the ranch. I had a chance to sit down and talk to him. The interview went for almost 45 minutes. We grabbed just some pieces of it for you now. And this is my conversation with a man who says there is much to be discovered at a ranch in New Mexico. Just for the record, you are not suicidal. You don't have a yacht. You don't plan on getting naked, throwing yourself over. You don't have any bed sheets nearby. You don't have any bed sheets nearby. The work you've been doing for the last, since 2018, 2019, which put you very close to possibly uncovering bodies, young bodies that might be buried somewhere there in New Mexico on the famous Zorro Ranch that Jeffrey Epstein once had.
This is way more and way beyond child sacrifice, cannibalism, ritual sacrifice. This is about leverage and financial institutions, which goes so many layers deep that you won't even be able to sort of process that. You'll need to be getting with, forensic accountants to try to figure out like how this stuff, Shell LLC companies, like the layers that this can go into is just, phenomenal. And these people aren't smart. They are brilliant. They know what you know as you're saying it, as you know, as we're having this conversation right now. There's no doubt that all my stuff is just going straight to the NSA, going to CIA, going to Mossad, going to all these people. And I think people need to be more aware of that. Like if you're clicking on into social media, TikTok, Twitter, etc., what you think your keystrokes aren't going straight to these, clearinghouses? This is about global leverage and world power. And Jeffrey Epstein is in the middle of all of this, not as somebody who is rich, not as somebody who's a billionaire, but as somebody who is a facilitator and a blackmailer. The only thing Jeffrey Epstein ever did, he wasn't controlling these things. All he was doing was setting people up, he was basically like a pimp. That's all he was, bringing people in so he could leverage and record them. And he basically got to the people and said, yeah, I've got dirt on them, leverage them for this, leverage that. I mean, you're talking all of about 6,000 bankers who are like controlling the world. And this is about wealth. Look at the first person to go down, right? Since 1647, Prince Andrew. So like, how did that happen? Well, because we're starting to unveil and expose what's actually happening in the way that the world works. And there's a great awakening, and all you need to do is listen to like Bill Gates' wife. I mean, that was the richest guy in the world. And his wife is like, well, it's happening right there, right in front of me. Bill Gates started Microsoft right here in Albuquerque in 1975. Robert Maxwell sold software to Sandia National Labs and Los Alamos National Laboratories with the back door for the Israelis in 1984. The same year that the Santa Fe Institute was started. Like, I have just dropped so much information on you that everyone can grab a thread of this, start researching it, and then just exposing exactly what's happening. And that's the reality. I mean, if you think for a moment that your foreign policy in this country is controlled by the United States and Trump and what he's doing, you're the dumbest person I know. You got the former prime minister of Norway, and you got the former Obama attorney, and you got all these people doing the perp walks across the pond in Europe. But is there one segment of accountability here in the United States? Not one. Ain't nobody being held accountable here in the United States. I get frustrated with reporters, and I tell them as soon as I talk with them, like, yeah, we'll have a healthy exchange of information, and the information that you find out won't get published. And I tell them that ahead of time. I said, anything I tell you, it's not going to get past your legal, and it's not going to get past your C-suite people. They ain't going to publish it because they don't want to be liable. And worse yet, and it's not, they say it's not being liable. The reality is they don't want to expose the own people who actually fund these organizations. Because we talk about the First Amendment all the time, Curly, and it's anything but. You talk about freedom of the press. There is no more press that's more censured than here in the United States of America. What we can say and what we can't say, what is going to make air, what's not going to make air, what's going to be the leading news story, and how they all bleed into each other. Like, these news organizations are basically parroting each other. It's a psyop. It's to get you, like the 7 a.m., 7 p.m. news, to get you geared up so that you can't go off into these directions. Don't become a free thinker. And then we know where you're going. We know where you're using your debit card. We know what you're getting on when you get on Google. And we know what you do. Like if you think you're living your own reality, like, unplug. Like, that's the only way that you can truly do it. Believe nothing of what you hear and only half of what you see. These people are already controlling you through your devices, through your computers. I mean, artificial intelligence has already developed its own religion. Last week with the authors of Claude, and they're like, no, we're not going to work with the Department of Defense. We're not going to give you our AI so that you can go and attack, innocent people. Like, they have a powerful development capability and intellectual property. And then Trump's like, well, I gave you a 5 p.m. Drop dead time, and then 1 a.m. the next day, I'm going to be dropping bombs in Iran, so I don't really need you. Like, these are things that are beyond our control and beyond our understanding. I love my country. I love my state. I love being here. I don't like to know how the sausage is made, unfortunately. And we enjoy some things that we are paying for in one form or another. And I think it's important for people to sort of get right in their own lives and get right with their own, beliefs. But there's nothing that you and I in this quote unquote democracy, which is anything but a democracy, it's truly a republic. I hope Jeffrey Epstein's enjoying playing his video game right now in Israel. And
wait a minute. He's alive?
He's a great Fortnite player, I hear.
Okay, that was Joe cut it all up, and it wasn't like I sat there and let him say all that sort of stuff.
Oh no, it's a 45-minute interview.
Yeah, his knowledge into this, and if you want to go into the rabbit hole with Eddie, and there's some stuff that's in there that people have not been able to dispute. The big question is, why didn't they investigate? Why haven't they gone here and looked into it? The New York Times did a piece. And this was just from a couple of days ago. The New Mexico leaders say there's never been a thorough investigation of the criminal activity that has occurred at the ranch in the last 26 years. It has now been sold, but the man that you've just been listening to for the last 6 minutes, has more to say about what was happening on that ranch, at the Zorro Ranch. And I asked him, I said, are you afraid that somebody's going to off you? He goes, no, I don't know. We went into this dark spot, and I said, Eddie, if everything is controlled, what's the point of anything?
Mind your own garden.
Yeah, there you go. Back to that again. All righty. Boy, it's been a dark show. Luckily, Lori's got some good news when it comes to traffic. Lori?
You hope so. And traffic is brought to you by the Seattle RV Show. Seattle to Everett, now we're looking at 55 minutes, and Bellevue to Linwood, a 38-minute drive. Everett to Marysville is 16 minutes right now. We've got a 4-minute delay if you're heading from Bellevue to Seattle on 520, and just a 1-minute slowdown on I-90. Collision still blocking the roadway, the ramp actually, northbound 7 at westbound 38th Street. The ramp not totally blocked. I think they're getting through on the shoulder. Don't miss the Seattle RV Show. It's March 12th through the 15th at Lumen Field Event Center. Shop over 400 new models for every budget and lifestyle. Get tickets at seattlervshow.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
All right, let's get Closets by Design to come into your house. Because you want an organization. Think about the garage for a moment. Close your eyes. Not if you're driving. Don't close your eyes. Go close one eye. Think about that garage. Is it a mess? Stuff everywhere? Would it be nice to drive in there, say, Tuesday, and everything has its place? Beautiful. That's what happened at the barn in Cleellum. They put an entire wall of cabinets in. I was like, where are all the tools? And Nick had organized everything. You open the one up. Oh, there are all the hand tools. What's in here? There's all the paint. There's all the sports goods. There's all this and all that. Everything's got a place. Upstairs, when it comes to the master bedroom, they've got cabinets everywhere. I turned around the other day. I was like, look at that. They got cabinets up there. There's a bunch of shoes, T-shirts I don't wear, or socks, and everything has its place. And it really does reduce the stress, because now the junk drawer is not parts of the house, because Closets by Design came in. 22 years they've been in business, and they're family run, and they're going to make sure they do a true customized job for you without the huge price. They're going to give you 40% off, plus 15% off, and 18 months financing and free installation. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's closetsbydesign.com.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. It's gray whale season in the Salish Sea, when migrating gray whales make a pit stop in Puget Sound to feed before resuming their journey to Alaska. The team from Puget Sound Express report that there are 9 grays currently in the area, including some new unidentified grays that naturalists are eager to learn more about. Gray whales come to the area to feed on ghost shrimp and are the only bottom-feeding whale we know of, scooping up shrimp in the shallow waters near Whidbey Island. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed gray whale tours departing from Edmonds and Port Townsend to see these gentle giants. And although grays are the focus of the tours, Big's orcas are also in the area. Puget Sound Express tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. They guarantee you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com. Schedule your tour today at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here. Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring. Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now. JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet. Just a couple things, huh? Maybe more than a couple.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Find your pot of gold at Lake Washington Windows and Doors with savings up to 20% on new windows and doors for your home. Plus, enjoy easy 12-month same as cash financing. Strike gold today. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
As Subaru of Puyallup, enjoy a truly stress-free shopping and buying experience. Friendly experts, transparent pricing, and genuine care. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event through March 31st, enjoy extra savings. Visit your stress-free dealership today. SubaruofPuyallup.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
Thank you, Advanced Hair Restoration. How many times I had to shock myself today?
It was like 4 or 5 times.
We need one of those. We need a sponsor for one of those things. Yeah. Yes. All right. Hudson, I think you got a song for us.
I'm a mailman. You can see. I'm a mailman to be mess with me. I'm a mailman. Everything know. I'm a mailman. Bring the mail to you.
Yo, thank you, Hudson. Much appreciated. Let me throw a little something. Folks watching the YouTube. Oh man, I've only hit it once. Oh, now that made my day.
Wow.
All right, we'll get a load of that day first. Take care of all the rest. Here we go.
Dennis in Seattle says, guys, did you hear that girl? She said, stop driving as much as possible. Thank you, Jill, on money. John told me an organized home is healthy. Buddies, don't forget the spring forward Saturday night.
That's well said. Thank you, Dennis, for all that. Shelley in Federal Way says the movie, the gaslighting story, is called Gaslight. In a world.
1944. Lomax in Seattle says, "Wow, free lunches for all students. That's cool. How do they get the food for free?"
Yeah, I wonder how. I would like free lunch. Dennis, is it Dennis again?
No, Dennis.
253, still waiting for someone to define fair share.
Robert in the 206 says, "John, everyone we know is running for the exits. Ferguson is destroying our economy. Rather than trying to be Singapore, Ferguson wants to become the Soviet Union. It's getting scary. Tell us something good."
Yeah, please. Veronica, the 206, how much does Bob Ferguson make? Doesn't matter. You get your own house, get all the stuff you want, and you run for president in a couple of years.
You think so?
These people are just...
He's a dork. That'll never
happen.
happen.
Whoa. We don't do that. We don't do that here. Shock Joe. Get the shockers out for Joe.
I don't know. I'm not...
Yeah, put a little jelly on there. Put some jelly. No, it's all right.
Clear.
Clear it. All right, moving on.
Bob in the 206 says, "Right on, John. Sing it." Screw
Ferguson. John's freestyle story, Doug in Mount Vernon, says, add some show tunes to this segment called Singing in the Rain. It's dancing in the rain.
Fair. Josh in Auburn says, once again, John's storytelling is top-notch. I had a vivid picture of the entire scene.
Thank you, Josh. You would have danced with, was it Maggie? Whatever.
Oh,
Rachel C. says, news sucks, more stories.
It was Maggie, by the way.
Okay.
And?
Jeff?
Yep. Okay. Benny the Tugboat Expert says, the part about people eating pet food is BS. There's cheaper human food available.
Okay, thank you, Benny, for that. I've needed that. Lance in Manchester says, can't help but wonder what the cats' names are. Come on,
I was wondering the same thing. Tina on the 425 says, Curly, I'm going through an extremely difficult time. Jeff and Maggie, Dancing in the Rain, tells the story of what I truly wish for exactly right now. Love you.
Oh, nice. Tacoma Curly's story would be a great weekly addition to the show, please. Okay, well, all right. Just
as long as we make
dance,
it more
monkey.
We just Jamestown and East Lakes, he says, see, this is why we end our day on that green rug, sometimes yellow, listening to instructor John Curley tell all his tales sprinkled with wisdom, creativity, but mostly we come here because he brings a sense of practicality to world events.
Thank you, Jamestown and East Lake. Dead Babies Act, 425. They care more about clearing a courtroom of adults, yeah, this is right, because they had an open bottle of fentanyl than they do for children. But hey, let's keep voting them in.
Goodfellas says, how much money is it going to take to tend to all these children throughout their lives?
Oh, yeah.
Help them from birth and infancy to get away from these druggy parents and be in an ethical orphanage or good foster homes, as the first 4 to 6 years are truly the formative ones.
Nice. 16 locations. Nice. 16 locations been around, but 50 years. I like you in the background. You always play the little part there.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
I'm on. Wait till I get a chance to sing with Zach Brown on the 24th of March.
You really don't appreciate it in the moment.
You don't. We don't know when the song is going to be. We don't know what Andrew's going to play in it. Oh, that's good enough. Oh, that's nice.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah, please.
Didn't write no more.
All right. I'm off. Well, should we do another hour? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, just another hour coming. Here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori.
167 northbound, the on-ramp from 405. Look out for a stall, partly blocking. And just a reminder that this evening, all lanes of eastbound 90 between Seattle and Mercer Island are going to close starting at 10 p.m. until 6 a.m. Saturday. Everett to Marysville right now, a 16-minute drive. We're still looking at a 4-minute delay, 520 from Bellevue into Seattle and 1 minute on I-90. Northbound State Route 7 at 38th Street, we still have that ramp partially blocked. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Out at the Wilcox family farm, our hens roam freely on fresh green pasture. But that means predators like coyotes and eagles are always nearby. That's where our team of Great Pyrenees help out. These gentle giants were born to protect, and they become a part of our family. Raised alongside the chickens from puppyhood. Our hens are raised humanely, our practices are organic, and our promise is simple. Fresh eggs straight from our farm to your table. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Yikey wawa.
What?
My hot water.
Yeah?
Not so hot.
Water heater trouble?
It's not working.
We can fix that.
This week?
How about today?
Apollo Plumbing really is ready right now.
Especially when it comes to water heater replacement.
Think I need a new one?
Is it more than 10 years old?
It is.
Probably so.
Doesn't heat like it used to.
It runs out?
All the time.
That's a warning sign.
Uh-oh.
So are little leaks.
But Apollo can get me a new one?
Installed today by our clean screen trained and trusted plumbers. They're water heater experts.
But I probably got to pay a rush fee.
No extra charge.
You make this too easy.
We'll even haul off the old one.
A new water heater.
Same day. That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
This is going to get my budget in hot water.
Got you covered there too.
How?
Our available payment plans.
I don't have to wait?
Or take cold showers.
You are a lifesaver.
Call us this morning. You'll have hot water today.
That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
Do you like helping others? Become a Shiva volunteer. In Pierce County, join the hundreds of volunteers across Washington state who help over 90,000 people each year with their Medicare options and questions. You don't have to know Medicare. We'll teach you. And if you're bilingual, even better. For more information and how to apply, call Shiva at 1-800-562-6900 or go to insurance.wa.gov.
Sponsored by the Office of the Insurance Commissioner and aired by the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM.